You know, it's like nobody can make a good product anymore these days. That's what it feels like. Yeah. I'm hoping this will improve. I don't know if it is, though. You see the flickering. I know you do. Yeah. See that flickering? That's not your stream. I bought another dock because I had mentioned a while back that I wanted to get a second dock so that I could just hook it up for my computer only and then network it so that I don't have to do wireless anymore. And so I bought one last week, and that one didn't work, period. It didn't work at all. So I returned it. And I bought a different brand and everything. And I bought this one because they said, "Oh yeah, it's great, it works, and it's I have no problems with it." Blah blah blah. So I was like, "All right, fine." So I buy it, and as you can see, there is flickering. It is not supposed to be doing that, obviously. It's wow. Okay, so now, not only is there flickering, but now my game is completely frozen. Yeah, it is just not playing nice with this thing. Yeah, my game is completely well. It's weird because on the Switch itself, the game looks fine. But yeah, I'm gonna try a different USB and see if this improves. I'm not even gonna mute myself. I'm just gonna walk over here. All right, we're gonna try a different USB. Yeah, because this should not have a problem. Wow, okay, so nothing at all now. Okay, so it's completely frozen now. Yes, I know that. However, the official dock that I got with my Switch does not have an RJ45 port on it. So I could continue using that, but I would have to continue doing wireless, which isn't necessarily that bad. And I hate having to move the dock back and forth between here and my bedroom because I play in both here on the computer and in my bedroom. So yeah, it's just a huge pain in the butt that I can't find a dock that does this correctly unless I go and spend like a crap ton of money on the official new version of the Nintendo dock, which is $100. It's a lot of money just for a dock, and the only difference between the new dock and my dock is that it has that RJ45. That's it. That's the only difference. So I was hoping that there would be at least one decent aftermarket one, and apparently there isn't. So yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, $100 for a dock. It's like ugh. It's just not. Yeah, now I can't. Here, let me deactivate this now. Reactivate. Okay. Wow, I'm not getting any signal out of it now. Hold on, let me redo this. Okay, now I'm getting something out of it again. Yeah, I faded it to black. Okay. So I forced it to refresh. Let me run around a little bit, because if it keeps flickering like this, I'm just going to go grab the dock, because, yeah. I guess if worse comes to worse, I just take this dock and stick it in the bedroom and vice versa, but then it just completely nullifies the whole idea of buying one with an RJ45 port. That was the whole point. Okay, it's still flickering. I'm gonna go get my dock. I won't even mute myself. I'll be right back. Okay. Let me refresh again. RJ45 is just a network port. That's it. That's all it is. It's Ethernet. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted Ethernet so that I could have a direct connection instead of having to go over Wi-Fi. And again, my Wi-Fi isn't terrible. It's actually really good. But, you know, just like any Wi-Fi, it cuts out every now and then. So I was like, well, I mean, I want to get another dock anyway. I want to get a second dock. So let me go ahead and just get a second dock, but I'll get this other dock with an RJ45, the Ethernet port. So then I won't ever have to worry about wireless at all. And yeah, like I said, this is my second one. And this one, I mean, the first one wouldn't work at all. Like, I couldn't even get a picture out of it. So I was like, okay, so that thing's just busted. So this one, I tested it yesterday, and I was able to get a picture out of it, but I didn't test it for an extended period of time. And now that I'm trying to do that, obviously it has problems. It has issues. I mean, it works for the most part, but the most part is not good enough here. So I'll try it on my TV, because that's usually what that's what I have in my bedroom. I just have it on the TV. So if it works over there, I guess I'll just leave it there. So at the very least, I won't have to keep pulling my dock back and forth. You could just buy an adapter. I've seen the adapters too. And again, you have to remember that I still need two docks. That's the big thing. I still need two docks. One for the bedroom, one for the computer. Again, so I don't have to keep pulling it back and forth over and over and over again every time I do a stream. So I'm going to have to get a second dock regardless. I was just hoping that I could have gotten a little all-in-one solution, but like I said, apparently companies, at least aftermarket companies, are having a hard time figuring it out. Yeah, well, I'll try to figure out what I'm going to do with this thing. Okay, enough of that. Let me go ahead and get rolling here. And, oh, I just got a shiny. Yay, we got a shiny. Again, wasn't even trying to find it. Got a shiny. I was over in Area 0 trying to just farm up experience from the Iron Hands, and I ended up getting a shiny out of it. Got this guy. And I actually said this last week. I was like, I'm surprised I haven't gotten a Venomoth shiny. Because I see so many of them out there. But now I finally got it, so yep, there he is. He's blue. The other ones are kind of like a powder purple. This one's like a powder blue. So, yep, got a shiny. Wasn't even looking for it. It was just there. If anything, because I was farming so many of the Iron Hands, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll get another Iron Hands shiny. But that hasn't happened, but there's the Venomoth, so... It's like, it feels like every time that I go farming for a particular Pokemon, I always end up getting something else that's a shiny, so it's kind of like a consolation prize. It's like, well, we're not going to give you the one you want, but here's a different one, just so you don't feel so bad. So that's what happened here. It's just, here, we're not going to give you the one you want, just take this one. I was like, all right, I guess I'll take it. So yeah, got the now. Well, the cool thing is now, if I want, I can get rid of my other Venomoths. I think I have like 2 other Venomoths. That's another thing I've been trying to do, but it's kind of one of those little housekeeping things that I don't... I mean, I'll start doing it, but then it gets boring really quickly. So I'll stop doing it. And I only really like to have 1, maybe 2 copies of any particular Pokemon. So, yeah. Let me see, what's get held item? Tinted lens. Bashful. I see a new version for 45 of what? The OLED one. Remember, you have to specify that you want the one with the Ethernet port. Because just the regular dock is not that bad. It's like 45 bucks. But suddenly you throw the RJ45 in there, it gets all sorts of expensive. But I kind of see what I think you're going to say, is that if I were going to, have to spend $100 to get the official Nintendo dock with the RJ45 already on it, why not get the older dock, which is like 45 bucks, and then spend $25 to get the USB to Ethernet cable, and there you go. Where? Show it to me. I'm almost ready to return this one too, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I've been returning a lot of stuff to Amazon lately, and they don't like it when you do it that many times in a short period of time. So yeah, I gotta go look now. It doesn't remind me that I have to sell more books, man. Books as in somebody other people's books. You posted the link in DM. Okay, let me have a look. Oh, that's on eBay. Let me see. Is this used? I mean, it's fine if it's used as long as it works. Let's see. Switch to only white station HEG. Oh, this is 50 bucks. Land. Okay. Well, is this... Oh, it says original. Okay. Oh, but the back part is broken off of it. It's not that... Yeah, there's supposed to be a cover there. Well, I think. I mean, like, mine has a cover. Yeah, this is definitely used. It's not new. Like I said, that's fine as long as it works. Yeah, this one looks like it was well loved. Nintendo's... that does not look official, though. Yeah, because I generally try to just purchase all my stuff from Amazon. Not because I have any sort of affinity for Amazon, but simply because when it comes to doing my expenses, it's much easier just to focus everything in one little, yeah. Well, yeah, I know you can remove it. Mine's removable too, but I just leave it on there. Because it looks obviously much cleaner if you have it on there. So that's what I was doing. Official. Oh, well, here's a... Oh, okay. So I'm seeing a different one here. New official Nintendo Switch OLED charging dock. OLED. Switch console. Dock only. Okay. I'll have to look into that later on because I'm not going to sit here and go shopping while I'm streaming. So we'll have to take a look at that later. All right. I got to move this Venomoth into a different area. So we'll switch places with you. You have only good stats, so we're going to release you. Yes, the OLED are the newer ones. In fact, I had actually mentioned it before. If they had released an OLED, a newer OLED version with a newer processor that was noticeably faster, I would buy it and then just sell my old one. Because I'm not going to go spend another, well, it's $350 for that thing. So I'm not going to go burn $350 and then go through the trouble of selling my old Switch and doing the shipping and all that stuff. I'm not going to go through all that trouble just to upgrade the screen by a small amount. Because it is slightly bigger, and it is an OLED, and OLEDs do have certain benefits. I mean, heck, my new monitor that I got for Christmas, this one is an OLED. And it is nice. The colors are richer. The blacks are blacker. I mean, it just looks nice. But I also have to take into account the fact that I don't really play my Switch handheld very much at all. It's almost, I would say 95% of the time, it's docked. So, yeah, it's not really worth it for me to go and get an OLED just for the better screen. I mean, if I were traveling around with it a lot, then yes, I understand, but I'm just here at home most of the time playing it, so it doesn't make any sense for me to go and get an OLED when I'm not going to really take advantage of that. But like I said, if they did have one with a better processor, a little bit more RAM, then it would make sense for me to buy it. Yes, you just bought a Steam Deck. That's what I'm doing. I already sold my Switch. Now I'm just waiting on the Switch. Dude, they have been talking quote-unquote Switch Pro for like 4 years. I honestly don't know if Nintendo's gonna do it. They should. It'll obviously, because that's what most of these companies do, like PlayStation and Xbox. Usually after a couple of years, once that first initial big wave gets out, they'll usually do like a mid-tier refresh where they'll update the processor. They'll maybe change the RAM speed, little upgrades like that, just to increase the longevity of the system overall. The only thing is I can't use Nintendo Online. Yeah. Again, that's one of the reasons why I would love to get a Steam Deck, but I just can't do the emulation. I mean, I can, but then I can't use online, and that's something I obviously do quite a bit. But other than that, the Steam Deck's kind of nice. But again, it comes back to one of those things of, well, the Steam Deck is nice and all, but it's a handheld unit, and I simply don't use handheld units the way they're meant to be used very often. I just don't. If I wanted to play a game that you could play on the Steam Deck, I could just as easily boot up my computer and there we go. The only difference would be do I want to play it in my bedroom? I've never really wanted to play too many games in my bedroom. In fact, Pokemon is the exception. Usually if I'm in my bedroom, I'm asleep or listening to music or maybe watching a movie or something on my big screen. But other than that, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing, Hammer. You actually can't overclock it anymore. Because there was a thing that happened where one, you could only overclock the first wave of the Nintendo Switches. I found that out because I did look into it. I really did. You can only overclock the first wave of Nintendo Switches. After that, the ones after that, you can't overclock them because you can't get into the what is essentially the BIOS of the system after that. They changed it. So you can't do that with the later versions. Second, initially, when the Switch was released, the processor was clocked at 1.01 gigahertz. And then, and apparently, and a lot of people hadn't even discovered this. There was a quote unquote a boost mode in the settings where it would allow you to basically let the chip do what it was meant to do, which was clock up to 1.75 gigahertz, which would make a very noticeable difference. And a lot of people did that. The reason why they downclocked or underclocked the chip originally was because there was a certain number that they wanted to hit when it came to the longevity of the battery. Because again, if the Switch is a mobile device, it's really meant to be a mobile device. So you want to get as much battery out of that thing as you can. If you're like on a 5-hour plane ride, you want to play that sucker all 5 hours if you can. You know? But if you have the chip drawing a ton of power, it's just not going to last. So they purposely underclocked it so that they could say, oh, well, this will play for up to 6 or 7 hours or whatever. But like I said, they changed it. They added in boost mode where you could technically overclock, I guess, or just not even basically turn off the underclock. Fast forward a little bit further. Boost mode is now removed completely from Switch via firmware update. However, all Switches, if they are updated to the latest firmware and everything, to the latest Nintendo OS, they automatically have boost mode turned on, which means that all the chips right now, again, if your Nintendo is fully updated, should clock to 1.75 gigahertz. So that's why they removed boost mode, because there was no point in having it there, because it's already turned on by default. So that's what I found out just by reading up on the whole thing. Another thing I found out was one of the big issues that at least from a technical side is the chip itself is actually okay. It's a pretty good chip, apparently. But one of the things they think that may be holding the Switch back as far as performance is the fact that the memory apparently is clocked pretty low for modern memory. It's like at 2400, I think it's like, 2400 megahertz or something like that. Which is not terrible, but it's not great either. It's not. Like, I mean, like on a regular desktop computer that you can buy nowadays, I mean, yes, you can clock your memory at 2400, but you're severely limiting what your computer can do at that point. You want to get it at least to like 2966 or 3000. So, all things considered, maybe a memory boost would do a little bit better, possibly, than a new processor. Lots of different things can go on there. Your RAM is 6,000 gigahertz, or megatransfers. Upgraded to DDR5. Yes, the interesting thing I found, though, is that there are a lot of DDR5 RAM kits out there right now that actually perform exactly the same as a lot of DDR4 kits, which is interesting to me. But it makes perfect sense. Like, you could get a DDR4 kit, say 2 sticks, DDR4, 16 gigabytes, clock it at 3600 megatransfers per second, and it will perform about the same within margin of error as a DDR5 16 gigabyte set clocked at, say, 5600. And the reason for that is the timings. Because, of course, as you go to higher and higher transfer rates, the clock cycles and the cast latency assigned to that RAM goes higher. And with a higher cast latency, that means that it can only do so much within a certain period of time. So if you get I guess a set of RAM where their cast latency is like 99916, and you compare it to a DDR5 that's like 18, 56, you'll notice that the difference between the performance is not nearly as much as you would think it would be, because you have to take that latency into account. I mean, it's still faster. They are still technically, and they will continue to get faster. But this is just like the first wave of DDR5. Once the DDR5, like, because there is actually DDR5 10,000 megatransfers that is out there, but it's simply not stable yet. But give it like another year or two, and that will probably be common. Having something that's like 8,000 megatransfers, that'll be common. And at that point, it will be noticeably faster than DDR4. I just wanted to build a new PC for my sis. Don't even mind. I have actually thought about getting new RAM, but I'm a RAM slut, so I need to stop doing that. Because initially I started out with 16 gigabytes of RAM at 2966, and it was fine for a while, but then I started filling it up because I run so much stuff at one time. And so I upgraded to 32 gigabytes DDR4 at 3,000 megatransfers per second. And it's good. I never fill it up now. I'm constantly around the 20 to 24 gigabyte range because of all the stuff that I have open on my computer. But I found that I can go faster. There is 3,200 megatransfers out there, and there's also 36. So I'm like, I could go a little bit faster and get a little more performance out of this, but, you know, it's not like I need to have it, so. What was I doing here again? Oh, yeah, we were doing Pokemans. Oh, I finally got them to try to sell me... Oh, wow, they already refreshed. Razor Claw, Netball, what do you got here? Horseradishes. Ugh. I'm just going to do this just so it forces a refresh. I've found that too. Whenever you come to the little auctions here, if there's nothing that you're really interested in, if you just go in and then hit withdraw, it's as if you participated. But, you know, if you do that with all three of them, it tends to refresh much faster. That's why I was like, oh, it already refreshed. Because I did these like an hour ago. And already it's refreshed. I don't need the net balls, but we're just going to go through them just so I can get a refresh. Because some of the stuff that they offer actually is really, really rare. Like, it almost never pops up. Like, just today, a little earlier, I got an auction for gold bottle caps. And they were offering, what was it, like 3 of them? Yeah, they were offering 3 of them, and man, did that get expensive. I was like, ooh, okay, I don't really want to buy this now. Because really, I don't even know what the gold bottle cap does, because I've never had one. But yeah, the auction got up to like $500,000, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to burn $500,000 on something that I don't even really know exactly what it does. I figured a gold bottle cap, what it probably does is it lets you hyper-train all of the stats, but just with the one bottle cap. That's what I figured it did. And at that price, it's just not worth it. Yeah. It's an i3 12000F or TX 3060 is what I'm thinking for the system. Are they just going to be doing like light gaming and like schoolwork and stuff? I mean, an i3 is not bad. The i3s nowadays are actually pretty good. Not to say that they were ever bad, but they were always thought of as like the low end, and they are the low end of the core series, but they're still very usable. Yeah, because the i3 will handle stuff. It'll handle like Overwatch and, you know, esports titles and stuff. It'll do just fine. In fact, with that little setup right there, the bottleneck would be the i3. It wouldn't be the 3060. The 3060 will be able to stretch its legs for a while after that. And the cool thing is, if you go, let me see, you're going, oh, that's a 1200? Okay. Well, I mean, you could always upgrade later if you wanted to still, because you could push it to like an i5. So you still have an upgrade path there. Won't be the latest i5, but it'll be an i5. What do you want, Dre Pickles? Let's see. Oh, what's this guy? I just want to see what this is. So it's a psychic something. Let me see what Pokemon this is. Let's see, can I get myself to accidentally warp into the... Nah, it's not gonna let me. Maybe right here. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, one time I accidentally got myself stuck inside that thing. And I had to pour it out. Star pieces and potion. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out here. Sunstone, Sandal Claws. Ooh, what's that? What do we got? Really? A Kilowattrel. A Psychic Kilowattrel. I don't even know if this little guy would be worth it. I mean, other than just to do it, just to see what other stuff he gives. But as far as like a catch, yeah, I don't even know if it's worth it. I'll think about that. Like I said, I don't really need the Kilowattrel. The only reason I pay attention to those 6 stars mostly is, I mean, obviously the drops are nice, but if it's a Pokemon that I could really do something with, because you get it at what, level 100? When you catch it, rewards it to you at, I think, max level, or at least level 75. So I don't know if it's really worth the trouble. Because that's a flyer. He's electric and flying. But he's psychic for Tera. That's a cool name for a bird. Kilowattrel. There is one called Wattrel, just regular Wattrel, and then Kilowattrel is the evolution. I imagine at some point we'll get a Mega Wattrel. Which makes perfect sense. It'll just be a bigger version again. That's the one thing I like about the desert, is you come out here and there's just so much stuff to pick up. You just ride around and just pick up stuff. And the stuff you see here is not that hard to kind of pick up on as far as seeing it. Although during the day you'll get these little sparkles like you see all over the sand, but then you get these that are a little bit more obvious. Yeah, so much stuff out here in the desert. What motherboard are you planning on going for if you're going to DR5 Hammer? That's another thing I wanted to warn you guys about. Apparently, motherboard prices are, like, kind of stupid expensive right now. So just be wary, because even, like, the entry level, like the A-series boards, like for AMD, those things are just expensive, because it used to be you could get, like, an A-series board for AMD or for Intel for like 50, 60 bucks. I mean, obviously it was low end, it didn't have a lot of bells and whistles, just had your basics functionality, you know, no extra ports or anything like that. But it worked. It did what you needed it to do. It didn't have overclocking support or anything. But now those same boards apparently are lingering around the $100 mark, which is kind of stupid. Just like they've increased the price of the entry there with that. So if you're gonna get a board, definitely shop around a bit, because yeah, even the entry level stuff is expensive now. And even like the AMD B series boards, I mean, what was it for AM5? Even when AM5 first came out, the cheapest motherboard was like 200 bucks. I was like, that's kind of nuts. Because again, for AM4, if you shopped around, you could get like a B like 450 or a B 550 for like $100 if you really shopped around, but they would usually go for like 120, 125. If you wanted something with a few more, you know, features, you could go like 150, 160, but again, that stuff wasn't really necessary. In fact, because of the price increase, I just saw this on Paul's Hardware. He does his weekly news thing. Apparently, for 2022, motherboard sales dropped by 55%. And the biggest reason they think is because of the pricing, which makes complete sense. Yeah, because why would anybody want to be paying these ridiculous amounts? So it's not only the GPUs that got expensive there, but it's also the motherboards. Processors, surprisingly, did not really go up in price, especially used processors. Because the processor tends to outlive pretty much everything else. Like, your GPU will die usually long before your processor does, unless you're doing some kind of, crazy overclocking, that sort of stuff. Yeah, your processor will live a very long time. I mean, heck, I still have, like, the processor that I have in my NAS. That thing came out in, like, 2006. And it's still going. It still works fine, too. Works perfectly fine. It's adequate for what I need it to do. I mean, it's just a NAS, so it's not like I'm pushing it very hard, but yeah, it works perfectly fine. Still functional. You'll be saving yourself a decent amount if you go with DDR4. Yeah, DDR5, again, there are some benefits to it, but it's still kind of expensive. Like, the pricing for DDR5 has actually come down a little bit compared to even 6 months ago, but the motherboards are the big issue there. Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's like, as the motherboard prices went up, the DDR5 price went down. Or think of it this way. You can get a really nice kit of, like, say, 32 gigabytes of DDR4. I've seen them. You can get a kit for like $80. 32 gigabytes, 3200 megatransfers per second for like $80. That's really good. Now, of course, if you don't actually use all 32 gigabytes on a regular basis, then it's kind of pointless, but, it also kind of gives you the idea that, hey, well, if I don't need 32, if I only need 16, which is kind of the standard now, you could get 16 3200 megatransfers for like $50 if you shop around a bit, $50-$60. Okay, I did not want to face this orthworm. Yeah, it's a premium price tag with DDR5. Okay, why didn't my well, I'll just break. There, go away, orthworm. Remember, PC part picker. PC part picker doesn't always have the best price, but it will kind of point you in the right direction, at least. Because a lot of people, whenever they buy PC parts, they immediately think like Newegg or Amazon. But there are other places out there that sell PC parts. And of course, like you mentioned, you have eBay and stuff. Just got to be careful with eBay. I know they have buyer protection, but it doesn't always work out in your favor. Because, say, for instance, if you buy a GPU that's used, and you know it's used, yeah, the buyer protection will protect you for a little bit, but it's not gonna give you like an extended warranty or anything like that unless you buy it. I think that's what eBay does nowadays, is they offer extended warranties on various types of electronics and stuff. It's kind of strange. DDR5 was like 180 for 32 gigabytes. Yeah, the kit that I have right now, I think I paid 130 for it. This was a couple of years ago. Yeah, I paid like 130 for it. And my initial kit that I got that was 16 gigabytes, this was when DDR4 was still very new, I paid, I want to say 110 for it. So that just kind of gives you the idea of how much the pricing for DDR4 has come down. I wish PC Part Picker had the actual size of the items. You can still find those. Like if you, what I do is when I go to PC Part Picker, I will pick a part, and like a very particular part, like not just like say for instance a 4070 Ti. No, I would go in there and I'd pick like an ASRock 4070 Ti, you know, special edition, whatever, you know, the exact product. Take that, highlight it, right click, choose search with Google, and then initially search it, but then search it again after it's already pasted it in there for you, and then just put dimensions. Add the word dimensions, and it should bring it all up for you. President's Day, so the neighbors are barbecuing in the back. Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm streaming today, is because it's a holiday. And I figured some people would be off of work. Ooh, ghosties! Oh. Oh, gimme ghoul. How you doing, buddy? Article saying the mining cards are actually better for used cards rather than the gaming cards due to fluctuations with the clock speeds. There are good things and bad things. One, parts do wear out. The good thing, though, is just from regular usage. Like, say for instance, if you're a gamer and that's all you do with your card. Obviously, you're not forcing the card to go full bore the entire time, so that in itself is good. However, I imagine you're probably turning your PC on and off at least once a day, and because of that, the temperature fluctuation does play a role in how your parts wear, or also in how your thermal solution will manage it. Because again, remember, over time, as your card heats up, things expand, but then when you turn your PC off, it, cools down again and it shrinks again. And so over time, you do that enough times and things will start to get a little out of whack there. Whereas with a mining card, when it's going full bore and it's at that temperature consistently, it expands and it stays there. So it doesn't expand, contract. So certain things don't happen in that instance. So that's why I'm saying there's trade-offs both ways. With a mining card, again, it's going full bore, so that sucker is going full on pretty much for possibly years at a time, but it doesn't have to deal with the expansion and contraction of temperature change. So it really all depends on how you look at it. Again, there are good things and there are bad things about it. Like, one bad thing that I found, in fact, remember there was a big news thing that was going on a couple of weeks ago about apparently some people were having problems with a batch of AMD cards, namely 6000 series cards, that were sold to them as new. Come to find out, at first everybody was like, oh, AMD sold a batch of bad cards, blah, 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 etc., etc. Turns out it wasn't AMD's fault. Apparently it was one particular seller who was taking old mining cards and he was repackaging them and selling them as new. But he went a step further. Instead of just going and trying to duplicate, like the seals and stuff that you would get on a new card, what he also did is he went back and took off all the heat sinks. He replaced all the thermal pads. He replaced the thermal paste, and even went as far as redoing the nameplates that are on the various chips, like the memory that's on the card and whatnot. He redid the etching, because over time, again, as something is being used and there's heat produced, the little etchings on things like memory chips, VRMs, that sort of stuff, it wears out. It starts to fade. And so what he did was he recolored it so it looked new, or he completely changed the type of RAM that was noted to have been used. So he did all that extra legwork to really make it look like these were actually really new cards, when they were not new cards. These were cards, again, that had been basically in a mining farm. And so he sold all those cards, and obviously people bought them thinking they were new because they were marked as new. And then, a month or two goes by and all these cards start dying. And they all had the same issues. Their dies were cracking, which is generally just should not happen ever. Yeah, and he sold a lot of them. That guy in Germany that was looking at all of them, he said himself, just his store, he got 42 of those AMD GPUs. All of them had the same issues. And as he investigated more, he found that every single one of those cards had instances of somebody going back and re-etching the serial numbers and the names and stuff on all the VRAMs and stuff. So this was not just some guy trying to pass off a couple of old GPUs. This was like an operation. Like, there was probably a couple of people who really went to work on this so they could get as much money as possible out of it. Yeah, it was like, whoa, okay. So this guy went the extra mile. And so that's why I'm kind of thinking there's definitely more than just a handful of those GPUs out in the wild. Those are just the ones we heard of. And again, those are just from that one repair shop in Germany. Can you imagine how many more of those cards are out in the wild right now? Or that have been purchased and then were like bought and then resold, like a scalper bought it for all we know. And then he resold it, and then now it's, somewhere with somebody else in another part of the world, and it's just getting ready to die. And then if it does die, it's like, what do you do? It's kind of insane, man. Yeah, that was a pretty big news story. And so AMD was like wiping their brow after that. Okay, they're like, okay, thank God it wasn't us. It wasn't our fault. The North Korean money scam. I do not know of what the North Korean money scam is. I do know about the, what is it, Volkswagen? Or, oh no, it was Audi. I do know about the North Korean Audi situation that happened decades ago. I did read a little bit about that. It's funny, but it's sad at the same time. Oh crap, I didn't even see these little guys. I probably should go and rest this guy. But in case you didn't know what I'm talking about, the North Korean Audi scandal is North Korea back in, I think it was like the 80s, like the late 70s, early 80s. They ordered like literally thousands of cars from Audi, and Audi was like, okay, no big deal. We'll sell you some cars. Because at the time, there weren't like restrictions on selling to them or whatnot. So Audi shipped them a whole bunch of cars, but North Korea never paid them. And so, of course, it's like, well, good luck getting money from North Korea. And another little interesting note on top of that is that a lot of those Audis are still running. They're still being used to this day. Because it's not easy to get cars for North Korea. So a lot of those Audis are still being used. And again, the parts, to replace, things that wear out and whatnot, they can just get them from China. So, yeah. Because China doesn't care about doing, trading relations and stuff. Well, this is interesting. We have an Ice Indeedee 5-star. I am going to bring up... What is the name? What was that website? It's in here somewhere. Here it is. We are going to bring up our little terrestrialization thingy. And we're going to look up Indeedee. This is an Indeedee male. And he is Ice. And he's a 5-star. So let's see. Possible attacks. Psychic, Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, Trick Room, Plain Ice, and Calm Mind. And he may use Inner Focus, Synchronize, or Psychic Surge. Let's see. What is a good counter for this guy? Apparently Tyranitar is extraordinarily good for this. Tyranitar, King Gambit, Bisharp, Poniard, Chi-Yu, Spiritomb. Okay, Houndoom, Sableye, Houndour, Roaring Moon, Brute Bonnet. No, those aren't as good. But apparently Tyranitar is the best. Let me see, because he counters Ice. Okay, I do have a Tyranitar. Let me see what he looks like there. I'm pretty sure he's level 100. North Korea got really good at counterfeit money production without the rest of the world catching on, and when word got out that they were dubbed supernotes as they are next to a possible attack. Oh, I think I do remember about that. How they would make counterfeit U.S. hundreds. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about something like that. I don't know all the details, but I do remember hearing about it. Alright, Tyranitar, where are ya? No, I have one. Alright, let's see. What do you got, buddy? He has 100. Dark Rock. Oh, wow. I haven't trained this guy up at all. Look at defense. No good. It's like, yeah, his defense sucks. I may not even have to train him, though. Let me see. What moves does he have? Low kick, stomping tantrum, smackdown, and crunch. So crunch and low kick would actually do really well here. Probably crunch, though. What's his special? Oh, 242 for the special attack. That's excellent. Weird how they say his defense is no good, but look at that defensive stat. That's pretty good. In fact, all his stats are good. Yeah, even, I mean, the 174 speed is pretty average. Everything else is really good. Yeah, I guess we'll use him. Does he have a hidden... Oh, I'm sorry, not a hidden, but a... held. Oh, he's holding a Lumberry. Okay. So we're going to put you over here. And we're going to change your held item. Yeah, North Korea has done some really odd stuff over the years. Like, there's that one building that they have in their capital in Pyongyang that it was supposed to be like this massive, like, luxury hotel slash office spaces and everything like that. And they started building it, and then they ran out of money. And so it's just there now, like this unfinished building, and it's been there for like 10 years, unfinished. There have been a couple of attempts to try and finish it, but again, they just always run out of money. So it's like, well, and I think to myself, you know, if you stop spending so much money on nuclear weapons, you could probably finish that building. It's like, go finish, stop making nukes. Seriously, if they stopped making nukes, their country would be so much better off. They wouldn't have any of the restrictions and stuff put on them. They'd be able to finish building buildings. You know, their citizens wouldn't have to eat literal grass. Like, literally, there are people out there just eating grass. It's insane, man. But here we go. I'm going to go in here with Tyranitar and see if I can solo this dude. Unless somebody wants to join me. I don't think there's anybody here that's, like, waiting for a raid, but... I'll throw the code out there just in case anybody wants to join, but I do not expect anybody to join me. But if you want to, you're welcome to. Just be prepared. So there we go. And apparently Tyranitar is the best option for this guy. Yeah, Tyranitar and King Gambit, it says, is also really good. So yeah, King Gambit and Tyranitar are the best ones. Interestingly enough, even Poniard is considered extremely good. I think it's just because of his type. I wouldn't bring a Poniard, though, because they generally don't have great stats. Yeah, so Tyranitar, King Gambit. And some of these other ones are a little easier to get, like the Houndoom. He's considered very good. So not as good as Tyranitar, but still pretty good. There's also Sableye, surprisingly. Orin Moon and Brute Bonnet. Oh, Scissor. Oh, but he's not as good. Yeah. Okay, we'll just leave that. Yeah, I didn't expect anybody to hop in. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not online. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot! I didn't go online. I'm such a moron. I'm sorry. You get paid Wednesday, then not for a good month and some change. I got a little... Yeah, you mentioned that. Just chill. Chill on the spending. You gotta chill on the spending sometimes, man. You just have to. Like, I'm having to... No one is buying chocolate. Well, when it's premium type chocolate, it's gonna get expensive. Because I think the reason why nobody is buying chocolate is because we're all too worried about, you know, just keeping the lights on at this point. Everything has just gotten so expensive. And again, as everything has gotten expensive, wages have not really gone up. They're simply not keeping pace. So it's like, well, do I want fancy chocolate, or, you know, do I want to spend that money on possibly, like 5-6 days worth of groceries. You know, you got to market that stuff to like the people that have disposable income right now. Retired folks. I hate to say it, but people like my parents, like my mom and my stepdad, they're both retired now. And they've got they're both retired. They got their money in order. They're not super rich or anything, but yeah, they're in pretty good shape. And even then, my mom, she retired, but she's not like really retired. It's kind of weird. It's like she doesn't have to go and do, she doesn't have to go and do the 9 to 5 thing anymore, but she still likes doing Mary Kay. And I warned her about Mary Kay too. So hopefully she doesn't get too in over her head. And I actually looked at her stock of Mary Kay when I went over there for Christmas, and thankfully she does not keep a lot of back stock. She just doesn't. And I'm like, that is excellent. You do not want to end up Mary Kay. Yes, Mary Kay, K as in Kay. Mary Kay. Mary Kay is how can I put it? It's so weird. If you look at it from a very cynical standpoint, Mary Kay is almost multi-level marketing. But if you look at it, if you're smart about it, and you look at it as merely a business that you could potentially make money in, and you do it right, then you will not fall into the MLM trap. This is what I mean. Mary Kay makes a lot of self-care products. They also have makeup. They make all the various makeup and stuff, like I guess powders and lipstick and nail polish, all that stuff. But they also do other stuff. They make like hand creams. They do make some stuff for men. They make like shaving products. That's what, it's just a bunch of that stuff. And the products aren't bad. They're really not. They're not bad products, but they push you to buy certain amounts. Like if you're a seller, obviously you buy at a discount. And then when you resell to, I guess, your customers, then you mark it up a little bit, and that's where you make your money. However, Mary Kay, the company, pushes their resellers to buy exorbitant amounts of product. Like stupid amounts of product. And they do that by saying, oh, well, if you don't buy this much of product, then you're not going to reach like the next tier, and you won't be like a pink star or whatever. All this other really kind of stupid stuff that doesn't really matter. And so a lot of women, it's mostly women that do this. A lot of women fall into that trap where they keep ordering more and more and more product, but they're not selling fast enough. So over time, they start building up these stockpiles of various products, all this makeup and powders and creams and stuff, that over time, again, you're not selling as quickly as you're buying, so you're pretty much just losing money. And on top of that, you end up with a whole bunch of product that has aged. And suddenly, once a product's been sitting on a shelf for 2-3 years, most people don't want it, or maybe it expires. And so you can't really sell it. And so now you've bought all this product that you can't really do anything with. It's sort of, if you look at it from a very cynical way, that's pretty much what it can look like. But like I said, if you play it smart, you can actually make money doing it. And the reason I know this is because my ex-wife got into it. When I was married, yes, she got into Mary Kay. And at first I was real supportive. I was like, all right, that's cool, But again, she fell into that trap where she would occasionally have good days where she'd sell like $100 worth of product. Well, that's cool, But again, they kept pushing her to just spend more and more and more money ordering products. And before you knew it, our garage was almost completely full of product. Our living room, just shelves and shelves and shelves of product. Even in the bedroom, there was just product stacked up to the ceiling. It was like, dude, I actually told her a couple of times, I'm like, you need to stop buying so much of this. She's like, yeah, but I want to get to the next level. Blah. I'm like, that's how I found out about all this. And I'm like, no, you can't do this. It's just, I mean, look at this place. She had probably $30,000-$40,000 worth of Mary Kay product just sitting there in our apartment. And she couldn't sell it. She sold some, but she couldn't sell all of it. And again, the company just kept pushing her to buy it. And so, yeah, I have no idea what she's done with it at this point. But yeah, when we were married, it was everywhere. It was all over the place. It was all over our apartment. And so that's why I talked to, when my mom told me she was getting into it, I had a good talk with her and I said, Mom, you know, Wendy did this and she got into a lot of trouble. And I told her, I said, if you want to do it, fine. And my mom is a very smart woman. She's been in finance her entire life. And so I told her, I said, they're going to push you to buy a lot of product. Do not do it. Absolutely do not fill up a bedroom with product. Just don't. Because they will try to push you and say, oh, well, you always want to have product in stock and this and that. I'm like, no, don't do that. That's the trap. Do not order that much product. And thankfully, she hasn't. She has not. Like, she has one little shelf in her, because at her house, she has like a bedroom that she uses as an office. And just there, she has one little shelf where she keeps some product. But other than that, nothing else. I'm like, that is good. That is how you want to do it. Because there may be days or even sometimes weeks where you just don't want to go and sell stuff. You just want to take some time off. But again, certain companies like Mary Kay, they will push you to buy exorbitant amounts of product. And then, like I said, it just sits there on a shelf. You know, it doesn't sell, or you end up having to sell it at a big discount, you know. So yeah, it's just... And again, you have to also take into account that if it's sitting there in your home, it's taking up space in your home. And so it's like, well, I mean, I'm basically paying the rent on this space, so I am now having to pay to house all this product. And again, some people may say, oh, well, it's like trading cards. I can tell you right now that it's not. One, because products like Mary Kay stuff has a shelf life. It has a shelf life. They are not collectibles. Collectibles and products that actually expire are not nearly the same thing. They're just not. I can sell a 20-year-old card and, you know, and still make money on it. It doesn't expire. It doesn't go bad. So, yeah. You don't have to worry about that. That's why collectibles and that, you just can't, it's not the same thing. Same thing with electronics. If you try to resell electronics, they tend, it all depends. It's kind of weird. Electronics are a little weird. They have, I wouldn't say they have a shelf life, because they don't, you know, most of the time they don't necessarily go bad just from sitting on a shelf. But let's face it, you wouldn't go and buy a 4060, you know, a GTX 4060 for NVIDIA right now, would you? You could, but the amount of things that you could do with it are so small right now. Like, you'd stick it like in like a NAS box or anything just for like an output, and that's it. So electronics are a little different, a little weird. They do have, you know, certain things that do age really well. Like video games, like old Nintendo video games. Some of those old Nintendo games are expensive nowadays, man. And Nintendo is kind of to thank for that. It's good and it's bad. Because a lot of those older Nintendo games, they don't offer or republish on their Nintendo store or whatever. And so the only way to play that game nowadays is to go and actually find the old cartridges. Like the old original NES cartridges or the Super Nintendo cartridges. You have to go and find them. And if you find the game you want, and if it's popular, you're going to be paying like $200 and $300 for some of those games. So, yep. Same thing with Atari. I don't think Atari is as bad, though. Because I have seen some really, really inexpensive Atari games. Come on, bro. You got it. You got to do it, man. Here we go. We're terrestrializing. Rock time. The Game Boy. Yeah, some old Game Boy games are pretty expensive. Like the old, especially the old, what is it, the Game Boy Color and some of the old DS Pokemon games Those things are expensive. I think I saw an old Game Boy Color game for like $150. I think it was like, what was it? Red? Pokemon Red or something? One of those old ones. I wasn't in Pokemon at the time, so I have no idea what it was, but I saw a few of those and they're pretty expensive. And again, the reason why they're expensive is because Nintendo just, they won't reproduce them. They may do a remake like they did with Diamond and Pearl, but if you want to play the original games, yeah, game prevention is important. Game prevention? I think you mean game preservation. I know that's what you meant, Hammer, so. Hammer, game prevention! We can't let these kids play games. Hey, Agent. Hammer's like, yes, that's what I meant. Oh my gosh, this is actually much closer than it should be. Okay, come on, I gotta crit this guy. The Tyranitar is actually doing really well, though. Yes, we got him! Good job, Tyranitar. I'll actually catch this. This is level 75. I don't want to use that. Let's use Premier Roll. Your raid is lagging? Ah, it's alright. We got it. We're good. We're all good. Tyranitar with the carry. Because I knew if I wanted to, I could have soloed that. But it's always nice to have other people in there. At least you get yourself an Indeedee, and who knows, maybe we'll get a Mystica. Let's see, give me some good rewards. Come on. Ah, no Mystica. Oh, we did get a PP up. Okay, Naughty Mint. Oh, okay, a couple of mints. Naughty Mint, Adamant Mint. Some Muscle Feathers, and PP up. That's not bad. Yeah, it's actually not bad. Muscle Feathers. That's pretty decent rewards there. Okay. Getting rid of my old Pokemon games years ago. Could have made some serious money. That's kind of why... That right there is the biggest reason why I don't like buying digital games, especially for consoles. Or Nintendo specifically, because if you look at the used game market, it's mostly Nintendo. It's mostly Nintendo games that are hard to find, they're hard to locate, because once they kind of go out of fashion, so to speak, Nintendo doesn't really like to reproduce them. It doesn't like to do any like remasters. They're getting into it now, but again, just look at the old Pokemon games. The only remake that's really kind of caught fire, in a sense, was BDSP, and I hate to say it, but BDSP just wasn't that good. Or at least maybe it was... Again, I'm probably spoiled by the modern conveniences of the newer Pokemon games, which is probably why I didn't enjoy BDSP as much as I could have. I think if I had been an old-school Pokemon player that had played the original... Diamond and Pearl, and then came in and played the remaster, then I probably would have enjoyed it more. You have unopened booster packs. I'll take packs. I will always take packs, because I can always do the shorts. That's what I've been doing with just the loose booster packs that I have, as you've probably noticed. I just make shorts with them now. I made a mistake, though. Not the one that I just published today, but the one I published a couple of days ago. I think it was Friday. I forgot to mark it as a short, and so the algorithm didn't pick it up. Because I was looking at it, and I put it on there, because usually those shorts get a few hundred views, which is decent. And I noticed that it only got like 19 views. I'm like, what's the problem? And Phyrexia is the pack that I opened. And that's like the new set. Everybody's like, oh, Phyrexia, And so I figured, let me do this one because people will probably want to watch this. And then it didn't get a lot of views, so I was like, what happened here? And I went and I looked back at it yesterday, and I was like, damn it, I didn't mark it as a short. That's why the algorithm didn't pick it up. So that's why it had so few views. I went and I changed it, but I think the time that the algorithm gives a particular video to get picked up like that, I think that time has already passed. I mean, I could always re-upload it, but that's, I don't know if I want to do that. So I put another one in today, and I did mark it as a short. So we're going to see if that makes a huge difference. And the reason I always try to remember to mark them as shorts is, one, because I know the algorithm will pick it up, and two, because I actually talked to Annie, because a lot of her shorts that she put on YouTube just don't get views. Like, some of her shorts only get like 10, 15 views. And so she stopped trying to really do shorts on YouTube. And I talked to her about it. I was like, yeah, what's going on there? And she's like, yeah, my shorts just don't get views. I was like, that's weird. So that's why when I did my short and I got several hundred views, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't jive. Something's not right. And I said, do you make sure to mark it as a short? Do you actually put that in your title? Because even YouTube tells you when you're uploading a short, it says, make sure you put, hashtag short or shorts in the title so the algorithm will pick it up. They encourage you to do that. And it does work. What would you do if I sent a jungle booster? Oh, dude, I don't even think I'd want to open that. I really don't. Because the pack itself, the sealed pack, is worth so much more than any card you could potentially pull from that. Yeah, the sealed pack is an investment. Whereas if you open it, I doubt you're like, how much is a jungle pack? Now that you're mentioning it, what are they, like $80, $100? Let's see, Pokemon Jungle. Here we go. Sets Jungle. $160 for unlimited edition Jungle Pack. And a first edition is $314. Okay, this is what I mean by you do not want to open that booster pack. The most expensive card in the set, from what I'm seeing here, let's take a look. Let me see. We're going to go with unlimited because I imagine that's the only thing we would actually want to do. We'll say near mint to light play. Light play for the Snorlax is $31, which isn't bad. I mean, that's good. But again, you're hoping that you actually get that particular card. And even then, yeah, you may get that card, but you're paying $160 for the booster pack, and you're getting even the best card that you could potentially get out of that set is only, $35. So it's just not worth it. It's worth more just to keep it sealed. That's another thing too. The old packs get weighed. Old loose packs like that get weighed. Yeah, that's how I say. If you ever get one of those packs, don't open it. Just hold on to it, or try to sell the loose pack if you can. If somebody wants to take it off your hands for a decent price, like $150, I would sell it. Because again, some of these cards are really nice. Like the Jolteon looks amazing, and so does the Flareon. Because they're foils. In fact, all the evolutions here in this set look great. Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. They look really nice as foil cards. But again, you have to imagine that the chances of you getting any one of those particular cards, slim to none. Like maybe like a 1% chance. So yeah, if you actually do buy a jungle pack, keep it and just stick it like in a a shoe box for like 10 years, and then take it out and resell it on eBay at that point. At that point, it'll be like a $350 pack. Okay, where's my game? Game. Oh, here we are. Okay. Let me check. I'm going to refresh this. I don't think it's... Oh, wow. Okay, the algorithm did pick up the new one. Yeah, just to give you an example. Now, again, it's not been out that long, but the Phyrexia video that I just put out a little bit ago already has 45 views. And it's still climbing. there are people actively watching it right now. Whereas the one from a few days ago, even after 4 days, only has 19 views. Gen Z memes, what's your opinion on them? I have no idea. What is a Gen Z meme? Wow, okay. I can actually watch in real time as the number for that new Phyrexia video goes up. It's kind of interesting too, because I can just go there and just watch the numbers going up over and over and over. Oh wow. Yeah, that's really going up. So we'll leave that alone. I'll come back to that. Is there a particular meme you have in mind? Wait, didn't I just... I did just come here. Okay, yeah, we don't want to mess with that. Let's check out this rock. Dre, I'm only in my 20s. Yeah, Hammer and Moni are pretty young, man. They're not old. Yeah, you got to be a young man to work in a cheese factory, dude. Yeah, man, you got to haul around those big old giant wheels of cheese. Same thing with Hammer. Hammer's got to, you got to be a young man to deal with all that chocolate. Yeah, man. Dealing with chocolate and cheese is a young man's game. Me, I just play Pokemon games. 4-star. I'm looking for a 5-star. That's why I'm roaming around here, trying to find a 5-star. There's another rock over here. I actually thought about making pickles. That sounds funny, but I thought about doing it. I really did. Because you can actually make your own pickles. I mean, obviously you can, but it does take a little work. But yeah, I actually thought about doing it, and then I was like, it is a little bit of work. I don't know if I'd really want to do it. If I were to make something like that, I would want something that I could just kind of set and forget, and then kind of remember about it, or think about it like months later and be like, oh yeah, I still have that, and then you're able to come back to it. You can't really do that with pickles. You have to kind of keep an eye on them. Like, what you do is you get all the vinegar and everything, and you get it set, and then you put your cucumbers or whatever it is you want to pickle into the vinegar and the salt and stuff. But then it starts producing gas, and it starts producing because essentially the pickling process involves a certain type of bacteria. It's good bacteria, so that's okay, but you have to keep it under control. Because if it just goes hog wild, then yeah, it's gonna ruin your pickles. So it's like every other day or something, you have to skim off the top of the formula that you have all mixed in there, and just to get rid of the excess bacteria. And then after something like a week, you've actually got pickles. Speaking of pickles, I recently saw a news article that said you can actually buy pickles in a movie theater in Texas. That is 100% true, and I'm not kidding. That's actually been a thing as long as I've been here. Yeah, in Texas, that was the big thing, is that when you go to the movies, it was always about, okay, you want to get your sweet and sour stuff and go sit down and watch a movie. And part of the sour stuff was a pickle. Or sweet, sour, and salty. Because you get the pickle, it could be salty and sour. You get your popcorn, which is usually salty. And then you get your sweet stuff, which is candy, and your drink. I mean, you could always get other stuff like nachos and hot dogs and stuff. But yes, that is actually 100% true. You can buy a pickle in movie theaters here in Texas. That's actually pretty common. Now, not every theater offers that, but yeah, it's just one of those things. You can go in and get a pickle for like $1. And it's not like a little pickle. It's like a big old chungus. It's a big pickle. So yeah, it's I don't know if they're still $1, but yeah, back in the day when I was a teenager and we go to movies, yeah, you could get a pickle for like $1. And it's interesting because they had them there fresh in the jar. They'd pull them out, they'd kind of shake them dry, or as dry as they could get, and then they'd put them in this little kind of paper, like pickle wrapper thing, and do like that, and then they just hand it to you, and of course you buy it, and there you go, you got your pickle. But yes, that is 100% true. I'm trying to think of other things that we sell here in theaters that people may know. I'm pretty sure you have nachos in other theaters too, right? Yeah, we sell nachos, we sell hot dogs. That stuff seems pretty normal to me though. But yeah, the pickle's the big thing. Because I've even had people here in the States where they'll come visit Texas from another state, and they'll be like, "What in the world? You guys sell pickles in the movie theater?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "That's so weird." I'm like, "Nah, it's awesome." And the cool thing is you could get a dill, which are just kind of salty and a little sour, or you could get the sours, which were really sour. By the way, pickles are nasty. I love pickles, dude. I absolutely love pickles. I still have a big giant jar of pickles there sitting on my counter in the kitchen. And every now and then I'll have one. Yeah, I don't sit there and munch like, 2 or 3 pickles a day. That's insane, but every now and then, like maybe once every couple of weeks, I'll grab a pickle and just chow on it. Because you got to remember, they're big, so they can at least be somewhat filling, but they have almost no calories. Seriously, like a whole pickle has like 10 calories, so it's actually not a terrible snack. The only thing is they do have a lot of salt, so you gotta make sure you drink a little water while you're eating your pickle. There we go. Man, I'm not getting any 5 stars. You like banana peppers? Never been a huge fan of banana peppers. Check Discord. Okay, I'll take a look here in a second. Now you can get different flavors of pickles. I'm a little old school when it comes to pickles. Like I've seen the bread and butter pickles and the spicy pickles, and I don't like those. I only like regular old dill pickles and sour pickles. That's it. I do not like any of the other ones. Some people absolutely love the bread and butter stuff, but I just don't like it. Yes, that's the Crown Zenith tins. And that's the Clara and the Cyrus boxes. I want to get the Clara box, but I'm 100% certain that thing is going to sell out everywhere. One, because it's Clara. she's one of the Pokemon waifus. And two, her sleeves and her deck box actually look really nice. They really do. They look really, really good. We'll see those 2 packs, the Clara and the Cyrus ones, those retail for like $40 each. So I'm actually not going to even buy them when they first come out. I may get the Clara one just so I can get one. But I know for a fact that the Cyrus one, after like a month, it's going to get discounted. Simply because everybody's going to want to buy Clara over Cyrus. It's kind of like what happened with the last wave of these that they did, where they did Professor Juniper, and they also did Marnie and all that. The Marnie one, you still cannot buy that thing for MSRP, even today. The few people that have the Marnie ones left, they want like $80, $90 for them. Yeah. So those are still expensive. But the Professor Juniper, they got discounted. I mean, heck, I made videos on it. I did a couple of videos where I was opening those Professor Juniper boxes because I was getting them for like $24. $24, and it came with 7 packs, a coin, 2 full art cards with Professor Juniper on it, a deck box, and 60 card sleeves. And the deck box and the card sleeves are actually really nice. That whole package for $25 is a steal. Even just the packs, even just the 7 packs for $25 is a great deal. And all the other stuff is just extra. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's still $25 right now. Because I know it went up in price a little bit, but I think it went back down again. Professor Juniper. Premium Tournament Collection. Oh, she actually did go back up. Yeah, she's at $29.25, which is still well below MSRP. But yeah, she's been hanging around like between $25 and $30 for the last several months. And as I mentioned, the Marnie one, yeah, there is a Marnie one for sale here, but they want $80, and I'm not paying $80 for that. Oh, here's another one for $85 for Marnie. Yeah, because again, they know people will buy them. It's insane, man. Anyway, let me get back to the game here. I do want to do an opening on Clara though, because again, the Pokemon waifus, people love them. Like, I can tell you right now, if I did happen to get one of those Marnie ones, which I'm gonna wait until Pokemon Center restocks it, because I've noticed, and I don't know if you guys noticed, because I check Pokemon Center at least every couple of days, but they've actually been getting some of their older stuff back in stock. Like right now they have theme decks from Sun and Moon in stock. Not only that, but they have a couple of theme decks from XY in stock. So that kind of gives you an idea. They're getting stuff back in ever since they bought that that card making factory. They've been able to produce as many cards as they want, and they're reproducing some of the old stuff. Clara, I would buy before release. I would only pre-purchase something like that if you get it at MSRP or below. Because again, like I said, as soon as it's been a couple of days, the scalpers are going to get in there and they're going to start reselling Clara for like $60. It's always going to happen. But yeah, while I'm flying over there, I'm actually going to go to Pokemon Center right now. Let me see. Pokemon Center. Trading cards. Let's see. Relevance. Let me see if they have any older stuff here. Shining Fates. Yeah, they actually have the Shining Fates box in stock right now. That thing was out of stock forever. The one with Eevee on the cover? That thing was out of stock for a long time. Let's see, what else do they have in stock that's been out for a while? Vivid Voltage, that's been back for a while, though. Let's see, I'm looking for some of the older stuff. Pokeball, Venusaur deck, Juniper. Let's go back a little further here. Glade. No. I do have a lot of stuff in stock though now. For a while, their entire store was out of stock of everything. Virizion boxes on there. Crown Zenith Special Edition box. Oh, I think I'm hitting these sold out now. Yeah, the rest of this stuff is sold out. But yeah, for a while, some of this older stuff was in stock. I was actually really like the Pokemon, the Pikachu Sidekick collection. That was actually in stock. It has Sun and Moon packs in it. The Ho-Oh battle deck was in stock. The Pikachu Power theme deck from XY was in stock. From XY Evolutions, of all cards. But yeah, that's why I check every now and then, just to see if other stuff has come back into stock. They even, for a very short time, had some old Sun and Moon Elite Trainer boxes. But those are out of stock now. Probably should have bought one. Now that I think about it, I probably should have bought one of the old Elite Trainer boxes. Because I've seen some of the old Sun and Moon Elite Trainer boxes going for like stupid amounts of money. Like $150. I could have just bought it and flipped it and been like, hey, there we go. Oh, another little thing that I completely always forget is every time you come talk to this guy every few days, he gives you free stuff. Let me see. I think... Oh, well, maybe it's only one time. But I remember him giving me stuff at some point. Him and that other lady gave me free stuff. Are Japanese cards something you would like? Because if do I get Japanese ETB? They're okay, but I mean, after the fact, there's really not a lot I can do with them. Because like if I open, English Pokemon, at least I can go and sell the cards, and it's not that hard to sell the cards. The Japanese ones, unfortunately, they look cool, but nobody buys them. Nobody buys the loose cards. Like they'll buy a booster pack just for fun, but as far as the loose cards, nobody will buy those. At least not here in the States. They just won't, because you can't play them. Like if you were to actually go and want to build a deck with them, you can't. I mean, technically you can, but if you want to play like in a tournament or something, then yeah, you can't use them. It's the same reason why I don't do any foreign Magic the Gathering cards or any foreign Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because I actually have a handful of Spanish language Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are really nice. They're in really good shape. And they're from old sets. But I can't sell them because nobody wants them. Like I have, no joke, I have a Spanish foil polymerization from Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's in Spanish. It's an unlimited, but it's from the original print run. So it's a 20-plus-year-old card, and it's in great shape. But nobody wants it. I can't sell it. I tried to sell it a while back. Nobody wants it. It just sits there. Yeah, nobody wants to buy it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, Mark. I was doing some 5 stars. I just found one. We have a Bronzor, or Bronzong, Poison. Let me take a look and see what the calculator suggests for this one. Bronzong. And he is a Poison. He is a 5-star. So he... Ooh, wow. He has a lot of possible moves. Mostly metal and psychic moves is what he does, apparently. Flash Cannon, Extra Sensory, Metal Sound. He does do Payback. That's the only dark move he potentially does. He also does Rain Dance. Okay. Combine Reflect, Stored Power. That could hurt. Gyro Ball, Iron Defense, Heavy Slam, and Light Screen. He also has Levitate. That is actually good to know, because if he potentially has Levitate, ground Pokemon are not going to do anything to him. Or ground moves will not do anything to him. Let me see. He may also have Heat Proof, and he may also have Heavy Metal. I doubt he's going to have Heavy Metal, though. He's probably going to have Levitate. Let's see. The best Pokemon for this guy... King Gambit. Yeah, it says King Gambit's probably the best. Ting Lu is also on here, but I'm worried about that because Ting Lu does ground moves. Well, he also does dark, too. Bisharp, Chilu, Crocodile is not bad. Houndoom. Oh, Greninja. Greninja's on here. I think it's because of his dark moves. So Greninja wouldn't be a bad choice. So yeah, it looks like King Gambit, Crocodile, Houndoom, and Greninja are probably the easiest ones to get. So I think I'm probably going to use my Greninja. So fire types will work. No. Not against this guy. Well, they'll work, but they won't be super effective. Because again, remember, he may be a psychic and metal type, or I think he's actually, I thought he was a ghost. Anyways, but remember, it depends on what his Tera type is. And usually against poison, you would want to use ground, but because he may have Levitate, taking a Pokemon with a lot of ground moves may backfire on you. So that's why I'm thinking probably best bet. I think the Greninja with dark moves. Yeah. Well, let me take a look at something else here. Weakness chart. I'm going to go back to my chart here real quick. So, Poison. Where are you, Poison? There you are. Weird. Okay. because poison apparently is weak. The ground obviously we've decided is not going to work, but it's weak to psychic. Why would it want me to bring Greninja? Yeah, that doesn't make a ton of sense. Does Greninja have a psychic move that I'm not aware of? Yeah, he may actually be able to learn psychic move, maybe. Or maybe it's just plain defensive type. Let me take a look. Let me take a look at my Greninja. Let me see if he has anything. Because I actually have a couple of Greninjas. Let's see. First one should be right here. Yeah, I don't think I have a psychic move right on him right now. No, I don't. Night Slash, Smackdown, Water Shuriken, and an Aerial Ace. Imagine if I used up my savings for a Mirage booster pack. Or a booster box. That'd be insane. Just don't buy a Homelands box. Do not buy that. Say no to Homelands. And there are Homelands boxes out there. There are a lot of them. And they're only a few $100, and so you may think, oh, maybe I'll get this. Don't. Homelands was quite almost literally printed into oblivion. It was just printed so much. Yeah, do not. I mean, it's cool if you just want the cards and stuff, but yeah, do not pay hundreds. Oh, extra sensory. Okay. So he does have extra sensory and role play. Let me see, what's this? Copying the target's ability. Okay. Let me check what... Oh, and my special attack is actually pretty high. So I could run extra sensory on this guy. I'll put that in there. We'll take out the Aerial Ace for now. Would Kaldheim be up your alley? It's not a terrible set, but it's not great. It's okay. Yeah, a lot of the sets from the last 2-3 years, there are a few gems here and there, but for the most part, the sets were kind of eh. Like, of the last 3 years, and I'm talking like regular standard sets, of the last 3 years, I would say that probably Kamigawa was probably the best one. Collector's box, no. I would not want a Kaldheim collector's box. No way. I'm guessing they're probably still asking like 200 for it, and I still think that's too much. Because again, when you look at the set overall, what potential cards could you get from that? Could you at least make your money back if you were to open the packs? You know, and as it is right now, I don't think you would. It's kind of like when they were selling, like when they did the Amazon dump back in September, and they were putting, what was it? Midnight Hunt? Midnight Hunt had collector's boxes. Oh, and Adventures of the Forgotten Realm had collector's boxes. Yes, the ones that are normally like $250, they had them on Amazon for $80. It was like, whoa. That is like dirt cheap. And they sold, but again, it's like, you know, even at $80, if you open all 12 of those packs, are you going to make that $80 back in the value of the cards that you get? Probably not. I hate to say it, but probably not. That's how negatively people reacted to that set. And me, I actually liked the set because it's, you know, throwback D&D kind of stuff. But as far as the power level in that set, it just wasn't good. It was a very low power set. So again, if you like the D&D stuff, then that's probably why you bought it. That's why I bought some of the stuff, because it just kind of reminded me of my youth playing D&D. But as far as actual usability of the cards, again, cool to have, but value-wise, it's just not there. It's just not. Even today, you could probably still get one of those collector's boxes for like 150. That's still very underpriced. As far as I'm also kind of thinking of how much I would pay. Like if I were to buy wholesale, like if I were to buy a case, my wholesale cost when that particular product came out would have been probably about 180-ish if I bought a case. So that kind of gives you an idea of my perspective there. What one value-wise is a good box? It's kind of hard to say right now. Like I said, Kamigawa is still doing pretty good. There's still some decent value there. Brothers War, I heard, did really good, but I only bought so much Brothers War. I didn't buy very much of that. Phyrexia is doing insanely well right now, but the packs and everything are really expensive. So, yeah. Baldur's Gate was terrible. I would do not get Baldur's Gate. What was the other one that came out? I actually liked Unfinity. A lot of people are kind of on Unfinity. I thought it was a great set. I loved Unfinity. It's such a fun set because it's one of the unsets, you know? And the unsets are always designed to be kind of silly and fun. That's the whole idea. And so I actually really liked the unset. I actually considered buying a draft booster box of Unfinity because they're really not that expensive. They're really not, and they actually have some good playable cards. I think even now you can buy a draft booster box of Unfinity, 36 packs, for like $100, which is not bad. Okay, I'm getting a little low here on my health. Little low. I'll go ahead and I'll burn a cheer here. They are fun, and I remember one of the what was the first unset? I forget, what was it? Unglued, I think. I remember opening those booster packs back in like the mid 2000s, and I was like, these are insane. These are so great. But of course, back then, like the Unglued set, you couldn't actually use them in actual play. Unfinity, though, you can. Yeah, the Unfinity cards are actually playable in regular standard play. So that's what made them so much more attractive to me. Because like the Unglued set and the Unhinged, it was just kind of silly. You know, it was silly fun. You know, it's a set that you could just play, you know, with your friends to have a little fun. But, oh, what is this? Oh, he's dead. Yay! It's like, oh, he's dead. You're saying 94? Yeah, that's actually not bad. For 36 booster packs, they're draft booster packs, but I mean, yeah, that's all they had. They didn't have set boosters for Unfinity. Okay, let me catch this thing. Thank you. But yeah, I've actually considered that, just going and buying a draft booster box of Unfinity. And the only question after that would be, is do I do just one long video, or do I do 36 shorts? Because I can tell you right now, if I did 36 shorts, I would get far more views collectively. Because even when a lot of times when I open some of those boxes, especially for Magic the Gathering, I don't get a ton of views. I just do it mostly because I like opening Magic. But even some of the more successful Magic the Gathering like set booster boxes or draft booster boxes that I've opened, they only get like maybe 150 views, whereas I could open a single pack and get the same amount of views. So gotta take that into consideration. In fact, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check. They did come with a collector box. They didn't have set boosters though. It was either a draft booster box with 36 packs or a collector's box with 12 packs. I wouldn't even want the collector's box though. I wouldn't buy it unless they were really cheap. Oh, here we go. Look, that Phyrexia video again. It's now up to 66. It's very steadily going up. It's like every couple of minutes I'm getting another review there, so it's working. And hey, we managed to catch the Bronzor. The whole time we were talking about Magic the Gathering, playing the Bronzor. I actually didn't want to buy any of the Phyrexia stuff, and I mentioned that in one of the videos. I didn't want to buy Phyrexia, but man, are people going crazy over that set. They really love the set. I think it's okay, it's fine. But the community overall really seems to love that set. So when I was at Walmart the other day, I bought 2 packs of the set boosters 5 for Phyrexia. Those were those 2 videos that I did. And I overpaid, but I was like, let's just get them and do some videos. Now, I overpaid for my packs. They were like $6.50 each, which is too much. This is too much for those. So yeah, I will not be buying those packs at Walmart again. If I do get more of them, I'm just going to get them off like a TCG Player or something. Come on. What we got here? Oh, we already looked at that. I'm looking for another 5-star, guys. I will continue looking for 5 stars. Because that's really what I want to just keep doing here. Just farming 5 stars. Yeah, because, I mean, the set booster packs are supposed to be a little more expensive. That's just how they are. They're supposed to be like $5.50. Something like that. $5.25 to $5.50 is supposed to be the price range. But Walmart kind of went insane and just started charging like way more for all their TCG booster packs. Like even regular Yu-Gi-Oh packs there now are like $4.80 pre-tax. That's expensive for a Yu-Gi-Oh pack. That's really expensive. So yeah, I don't buy Yu-Gi-Oh packs from Walmart anymore. Let's see, that's a Luminion, but it's only a 4-star. Let's go check this one. Yeah, all the stuff at Walmart is just like, if you actually go to the to an actual physical Walmart store, don't buy the TCG products there. However, occasionally Walmart online, their website will have good deals. The Bronzong you got some are yes, is a 5-star. Whenever you get a 5-star, generally they will have very good stats. Sometimes even really, really good stats. So that Bronzong you got is definitely usable. And then of course you still want to EV train it and everything. And once you get it all trained up and hyper trained and all that, then you got yourself a good Pokemon. Oh, what was that? Oh, I thought he was a different color. Nah, that's just a regular one. Bagons, Vigoroths. Oh god, the bird. I thought that thing was flying right for me. Look at it. It just flew off the ledge there, and I was like, oh geez. Like, no! Don't get me. Don't get me, big birdie. Oh, I didn't even have to climb the rock. Come on, dang it. Get over there. Alright, let's see. Come on, 5-star. No. 3-star. Again, I really, really wish they would just put the star number on each of these so I wouldn't have to just go to every single one. To go to find a Ho-Oh from 64 Neo Revelation Unlimited Holo Rare. Watsy Pokemon 2001 PSA 8. 178. PSA 8? That's not terrible. I don't know what the actual regular value would be. Like, what's the ungraded value? And then you can factor in any kind of additional value on top of that. Now, I always look at the value of the card raw and then kind of go from there. Because if the card raw is only usually like 20 bucks, if you can get a near mint or lightly played one for that amount, just do that and then get it graded. Grimer, 4-star. What do we got here? We got dragons and normal. Let's check out this normal. So you can't use the legend Pokemon bike in battle. Yeah, you actually get 2 copies of that Pokemon. You get the one that you ride around on, and then you get the one that you can keep in your box. Yeah, you can keep it in your box. In fact, it's one of my best Pokemon. I just don't ever really have the opportunity to use it. Yeah, he's all trained up and everything. He's actually really, really good. He hits really hard. So yeah. I think I mean ungraded, it's 125. You know, if it's 125 ungraded, that's actually not a terrible price for the graded version you were looking at. A little, I mean, because anytime it's graded, obviously there's going to be a little bit of a premium. A $50 premium, because what is it, $53 premium? That's not terrible. Could be better, but it's not terrible, because you also have to take into account you're also paying for the amount that they had to pay for to get it graded, which, depending on how they got it graded and at what level they got it graded at, the price can be different. Like if you or I were to just send in a random card to say PSA to get it graded, even at the lowest tier, would be like $30. And then it would take you quite some time to actually get the card back. It would take you probably at least a couple of months. It used to be longer, but it would be at least a couple of months to get it back. So you have to ask yourself, well, do I just pay the $178 and then I don't have to worry about actually sending it in and getting it graded and everything, because I'll get the card, you know, in a week and it'll be all ready to go and it'll just immediately go to my collection. So do you want to pay that $53 so that you save yourself all that extra time and worry and expense and stuff? Some people would say that $53 would be worth it. It really depends. Come on. 5-star. Hey, look at that, a 5-star. Okay. Oh, that's one of those olive thingies. That's a grass boy. So he's grass. What is the name of that Pokemon? I can never remember the name of this one. Yeah, I'll pay the $53. Okay, yeah. Because like I said, you pay the extra $53, but at least then you don't have to worry about getting it graded later on. And at least paying what you're paying for the graded version, you know you're getting a PSA 8. You know that's what you're getting. So, yeah. There are certain guarantees. Because you could buy a raw ungraded version, but you may send it in and it only come back like a PSA 7. And then you're like, oh, well, crap. You might not make that one. Yeah, because this guy's dark. What is the name of this Pokemon again? I always forget. It's the second evolution of Smoliv. What is it called? Do y'all remember right off the top of your head? I mean, I have it in my bag. I just can never remember the name. I buyed a Pokemon? What do you mean you buyed a Pokemon? I hope you didn't go to one of those weird websites and buy a Pokemon. Don't ever do that. Never go to those. Where is it? There. No, that's Flowgrass. Oh, there it is. I knew I had one over here. There we go. Arboliva. Arboliva. Okay, so it's an Arboliva. Okay, let me take a look and see what the calculator says. So it's grass and normal. And then this one, what was this one? A dark. 5-star. So it uses Energy Ball, Hyper Voice, Earth Power, Charm, Sunny Day Growth, and Leaf Storm. Seed Power. Turns the ground into grass terrain when the Pokemon is hit by an attack. Or it may have Harvest, which may create another berry after one is used. It's probably going to do Seed Sower. Let's take a look at what best counters. Scyther is a very good counter. So is Vespiquen and Corviknight. Those are the top 3. Those are considered extremely good. Pretty good are Dragonite, Salamence, and Scizor. Let me see. I have a Corviknight and a Vespiquen. I don't know if they're max level, though. I can max them out. Let's see. There's a Dragonite that I actually don't even need. I just have it there for now. Until I move it. Okay, I know I have a Vespiquen. I'll actually work on her. I'm going to check that link here in a sec. Vespiquen. Where are you? There you are. I think I actually have 2 Vespiquens. Oh, I have 3. Okay, which one is the highest level with the best stats? That's only a 27. It's a 45. And that's a 44. Wow, so none of them are really ready to go. What about Corviknights? I guess I'll search for Corviknight. Because I know I have at least one high-level Corviknight. It's a level 43. And that's a level 78. Oh, but he's already hyper trained too. His stats could be better. Special defense isn't that great. Neither is his speed. I'm gonna see if I can just kind of power level him real quick. Fighting Tories. I'm wondering what's for dinner. Beef. It's what's for dinner. Dun 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 dun. Oh, that's a first edition one you're looking at. That one actually looks. Oh, is that it? Oh, what is that at the very top of the card? Are you seeing that, Hammer? At the very. Look at the middle top of the card. Zoom into it. I don't know. That looks like pen mark. Yeah, that looks like a pen mark. There's 2 of them. That looks like 2 pen marks there. Yeah, if those are pen marks, I would not pay $325 for that. Even a first edition. Because when you have pen marks like that... that's going to really... knock down the value of those pen marks. On the back, let's see what we got here. The 2 bottom corners on the back of the card have a little bit of wear on them. So that's going to knock it down at least to light play. I'm also seeing a little scuff there too. And something on the P, on one of the P's. I can't tell if that's just a mark or an actual tear. It's probably just a mark. Yeah, so yeah, there's definitely scuffing on the back. You know, with that extra marking, I'm going to push that down to a moderate play. Yeah, those pen marks really bug me. That's going to knock it down quite a bit for those pen marks. And again, this is just kind of a ballpark figure. I would not grade that any higher than, say, maybe a 4.5. Simply because of the pen marks. Yeah, the pen marks really... Because the sad thing is the centering is actually pretty good. The centering is pretty spot on. But again, those pen marks and the wear on the back really brings it down. It's more so the pen marks. So I wouldn't recommend spending $325 on that. If it didn't have the pen marks, I'd have a very different opinion. Actually, no, I forgot I'm broke. Okay, so we're going to power level this Corviknight real quick. I've actually been spending more and more candies. I almost maxed out my large candies. I was like at 994 or something like that. I was like, whoa, gotta start using these. There we go. Level 100. Oh, that's just the card you were looking at? Oh, okay. Alright. Let's see. We gotta give you a held item. I also have to check his moveset, too. We're going to give you a Shell Bell. Because that is the default. The default thing that I give to every raid Pokemon I have. Alright, let me check his stats real quick. Okay, 272 defense. Speed is okay. Yeah, his defense is really great. Attack is good too. Attack is excellent. Special defense is a little on the low side. In fact, if I had to, I would change his nature to dip on the special attack and boost this. Yeah, dip on the special attack and boost on the special defense. I pulled that exact card as a kid and my sister stole it and moved to Arizona. Does anyone have an offer for my Chen Pao with a life orb? I don't want it. I don't. Dude, hold on to that. Dude, that's a legendary. Yeah, just hold on to it. Believe me, that particular Pokemon will come in handy at some point. Especially if you plan on doing more of these raids. It will come in handy. You just gotta train it up. I think, let me see. Let me check. Type. Fighting, Bug, and Fairy. I gotta change these moves. We're going to put in Helm Claws over Drill Peck. U-turn. Do I have another bug one here? Reversal. I think I may just do U-turn. I won't get the secondary effect, but I just want this thing to hit. Because the dark, yeah, dark doesn't like bug. So we're going to throw that in there. And we will take out Stillwing. And I'm not even EV training him. I'm just going to take him in there and see if he'll do a good enough job as it is right now. And then I can EV train him later. All right, there we go. Gonna change him. Again, anybody's welcome to join. Just be prepared. There we go. And again, according to the calculator that we have here, Vespiquen, Corviknight are probably your best options. It does note Scyther as well, but he's a basic, so he may be a little underpowered. Other options would be a Dragonite, a Salamence, a Scizor, a Bramblegeist. Oh, and a Flamigo. Flamigo is pretty easy to get. Yeah, those are the top ones right here. I imagine most people would probably have the Bramblegeist or the Flamingo, but if you happen to have a Salamence or a Dragonite, those are also good options if you don't have a Corviknight or a Vespiquen. Well, you can do a lot with Vestment or Keepsake. Oh, everybody's bringing their Corviknights. That's fine. Like I said, that's probably that's one of the good options is the Corviknight. I was hoping the Vespiquen would have been a little bit higher level, It would have given me an excuse to push it to 100, but Corviknight was closer. Alright, here we go. I think this one probably shouldn't hit us that hard. I bet it's probably going to be a little tanky. And it does heal itself. Let me see, what do we got here? Oh, it can charm us. So it'll probably lower our attack a little bit. But I'm going to guess it's going to probably do Seed Sower as its ability. Alright, let's do some Hone Claws. Okay, excellent. That did not hit very hard at all. Yeah, I took that shot really well. Okay, here we go. So let's try Body Press first. See how well this does. Not bad, not bad. I'll try U-turn next. Ooh, Sunlight turned harsh. Alright, U-turn. Show me what you got. Ooh, raising her attack. Oh, wow! U-turn hits really hard. Oh, that was a crit. But still, it's pretty hard, even minus the crit damage. That was really good. Okay, we're going to keep doing that. I think I'm ready to Tera too. I didn't even check the Tera type on my Pokemon. You confused it? Yeah, it's going to negate the confusion. But it's still good to confuse it every now and then when you can. Ooh, somebody's Dragonite died. Remember, guys, you cannot let yourself die. If you have to burn a cheer to keep yourself alive, do it. Because deaths are the biggest thing. The biggest reason why we fail is because we get too many deaths and the timer just runs out. Ooh, Teresta's into metal. I'm going to not do that. No, what are you doing? No, turn off. It won't turn off. There we go. Off! Why won't this... Okay, this thing is freaking out. There we go. Okay. I think it's time for Hone Claws again. Raven, do not let yourself die, man. You can't... oh, he died. Yeah, the timer just went... Yeah, we're not going to get this one. Cannot die, guys. You cannot let yourself die. Yeah, we're going to fail this. Yeah, I'm doing decent damage, but yeah, those deaths are yeah, that's what killed us here. The 2 deaths. Oh, of course you sapped my stat change. It doesn't matter at this point anyway. That's unfortunate. Reminder, guys. Just make sure you bring a level 100. That's probably one of the big things. It doesn't, like I've said before, it's not required to have a level 100 for a 5-star raid, but it absolutely helps. It helps your survivability so much. If it's like level 95 or so, that probably is fine. But yeah, you can't bring like a level 60 here and expect to win. Yeah, you just can't do it. I mean, overall, Corviknight actually did fine. Yeah, he did fine there. Check something else here. Yeah, the fighting move was not so great, but the U-turn was really good. Let me see if I can train up his... What was that thing hitting? Oh, it used Energy Ball on me. Okay. Energy Ball and Hyper Voice. Well, can't really do anything about... Let me see, Hyper Voice. Oh, Hyper Voice is special attack. Okay, so let me see if I can actually... Do I have any... Damn, I don't have any zinc. Hold on. Clever Feather, special defense. I have 75 of these. Let me see if he can actually take these. Yeah, I'm going to give him all 75. Well, it's not enough just to have a level 100. You also have to make sure that your type matchup is good. That's why because in case you don't know what I'm using here to figure out which Pokemon are the best, I'll actually link it here in chat for you all. It's extraordinarily handy. It's called terastall.net. And you just put in, you basically input the information that we have here. Like in this case, it's the Arboliva. It is a dark and it's a 5-star. And once you put all that info in there, it will tell you the move set that it will do and the possible abilities. And then it will also give you the option to check which Pokemon best counters it. And that's where I got the Corviknight from. And apparently it did fine. Yeah, the Corviknight was actually a good choice. The Dragonite was also good. Let me see what else we got here. As far as you brought, what was that? A Yangoose? Not a Yangoose. You brought. I'm trying to see which one you brought. Yeah, that other one that other individual brought. I forget what it's called. I think it was a Zanzagoon. I think it is. Yeah, that's not even on the list. Yeah, so that wasn't a good choice. So yeah. Again, other options: Vespiquen, Corviknight, Dragonite, Salamence, Scizor, Bramblegeist, Flamigo. Go-Goat is actually not bad. Sawsbuck, Charizard. If you have a Charizard, if you have a level 100 Charizard, apparently that's pretty good too. A Rotom. I wouldn't expect Rotom, but there he is. Altaria is pretty good, and so is Hawlucha. I'm trying to think of the ones... I'm trying to name you all the ones that are more common. That are easier to get, like a Heracross. Heracross is not the best, but it's okay. Of the ones that are probably easiest to get, Forretress. Hawlucha is a good one. Charizard, if you were able to get it. Sawsbuck's easy to get. Go-Goat's easy to get, and so is Flamigo. Some of the others are maybe a little bit harder. Like, I know the Dragonite isn't all that common, so maybe harder to get. Same thing with Salamence. You have to... It's kind of... I've actually never seen a Salamence out in the wild. But I have seen the Bagons. So the Bagons are pretty easy to get. Okay. Is Iron Valiant good? For this particular fight, no. But overall, is it good Pokemon? Well, see, that's the thing. There really aren't any bad Pokemon. It's just what Pokemon is best for that particular situation. So Iron Valiant in this fight isn't recommended, but that doesn't mean he's bad. It just means that he's not good for this particular fight. Like, there are certain fights where he does amazing. He does really, really well. But this fight... let me see. He's fighting... What is he? Fighting in Fairy? I think he's fighting in Fairy. Let me see. Fighting... I mean, he wouldn't do terribly in this fight, but he wouldn't do exceptionally well either. He'd be very average. I think, if anything, the one thing that may help him would be the fact that he does hit Dark harder with his fighting moves. Oh, and the fairy moves. Okay, so attack-wise it wouldn't be bad, but defense-wise it wouldn't be great. So I guess if you want to bring it and give it a try, I wouldn't argue with you over it. It'd be fine if it's level 100. I think it'd be fine as long as you've got some fighting and fairy moves on it. You have a question regarding EVs. Okay. Iron Hands could maybe work. If it's got that fighting move, that might be optional. Might be. Oh, actually, yeah. You know, if we had somebody bring in an Iron Hands and we support it, like just keep it alive and let it do its belly drum drain punch, that could work. Because once it hits it one time, usually it can take at least half of its health. And then at that point, we just have to keep poking at it until it's dead. And just don't let anybody die. Just don't die. Yeah, I have a great Iron Hands too. I mean, if y'all want, we could just go Iron Hands. And I've tried to max the EVs on my golden ingot, but they won't max. What do you mean they won't max? Why won't they max? When you try to do EVs, like when you try to give it feathers or when you give it any of the little ingredients and stuff, what does it tell you? If it tells you it won't work, that means that you've maxed it out. Another way to tell if you've maxed out your EV training for your Pokemon is, I'll show you here. In fact, we're actually not that far from the city. I'm not going to leave this, but right up here in Levincia, in this little area right here. So you would just fly right over here, and then this little area right here, it's actually behind the gym. There's a lady there in floral pants that you can talk to, and she will actually tell you if your Pokemon is or is not fully EV trained. If he is fully EV trained, she will say, oh, wow, he's giving the best he's got. Here, I'll give you a ribbon. And she gives you a ribbon. If it's not fully EV trained, she'll tell you, oh, he can still give more. Yeah. So basically, if she gives you the ribbon for your Pokemon, then he's fully EV trained. That's pretty much how it is. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like going to the lady anyway because if I see, and I like getting the ribbon because the ribbon sticks out, at least for me, it sticks out. So when I'm going over my Pokemon, if I see that it has that ribbon, then I know I'm done training it. So yeah, I don't have to go back and train it anymore. It's Goofy. The Goofy face. But yeah, if y'all want to try Iron Hands, I'm down with that. I'll try Iron Hands. I've got him in here somewhere. I gotta find him. Where are you? Raid ready. Oh, did I not find him? Oh, come on, Iron Hands. Where are you? I sometimes move my Pokemon around and I forget where I put him. He's in here somewhere. Might be faster just to search for him. There it is. Another thing you can do on top of EV training is go get them hyper trained. It costs you a bottle cap for each move you or each stat you have hyper trained, but it gives you a little extra boost. So it's always good to do that too. And also make sure your held item is decent. I like shell bells, obviously, as you can tell. But yeah, you can use whatever held item you want as long as it benefits you in some way. Even something like a Lumberry can usually help you, especially against status conditions, because it wipes a status condition. You can only use it once during the battle, but it's still something. All right, here we go. I'm going to take Iron Hands in here and see how he works. I have a good feeling, though. I think we're going to actually do it this time. Because, I mean, we didn't do terribly last time. We were doing all right. It's just those deaths started stacking up. Your Iron Hands has a metronome. Like I said, whichever you feel more comfortable with. I like the Shell Bell because because I know a lot of people have actually told me, they're like, oh, well, you're using Drain Punch anyway, so you don't really need it. Well, I don't always use it with Drain Punch. Sometimes I use Play Rough, or other times I use Ice Punch or Thunder Punch. And of course, those other moves don't heal you. But if you hit really hard and you have the Shell Bell, then it does heal you. So yeah, I'm thinking beyond that. it says it can still give a bit more, then yeah, just take a look at the stats and see whichever one you think may improve them or give you the most advantage. Do remember though that after a certain point, you don't really want to overtrain it in a particular stat because then it just isn't really worth it. And also, again, I have to say this: survivability in these raids is extraordinarily important. So do not overlook defense and special defense. Those two things can really save your butt. Because again, yeah, you can max out attack and all that stuff, but if you can't get your Pokemon to survive to deliver that attack, then it's kind of worthless. It's the belly drum pack. Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of whoever gets in first. Don't worry, Mark. We'll do more. All right. Oh, mine's not going to hit that. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh, she's getting obliterated now. They're all doing the same thing to her. Oh my gosh, I died because I couldn't get my punch off. It's okay, I think we're close enough. We're fine. Yeah, so that's one of the things I don't like sometimes, especially if we go in with a bunch of the same Pokemon. I can't get one of us can't get our drain punch off, and so one of us dies. But we're so far ahead at this point, I think we're fine. There are certain times where I ask people to not join so that we can kind of maintain the same team. I didn't do it this time though, just because it's a regular 5-star. It's not like it's a 7-star event Pokemon or anything, so yeah. I will tell you this, Mark, if you actually could use this Pokemon, because it is still a good Pokemon, it's going to be a level 75. If you actually could use this particular Pokemon, I'll just give it to you. Yeah, because I'll catch it and I'll just give it to you. Because I already have one. I already have a one that's high enough. So, yeah. Oh, you just want the candies. Well, I'm going to catch this anyway, and I'll just stick it in my trade box. Let's see. Any good stuff here? Oh, we got a bottle cap. Not bad. Okay, that's good. Bottle caps are always useful. Small of oil, shards, star piece, nuggets, genius feathers, and another star piece. That's not terrible. The bottle cap, I think, is probably the best thing that dropped from this guy. Do you shiny hunt at all? The few times that I've tried shiny hunting, I got so bored. And I will tell you this, as far as shiny hunting on a stream, I find it boring. I really do. Because, I mean, even if you use the sandwiches and stuff, the chances of you actually finding a shiny are still pretty low. So I kind of thought, well, do I want to do shiny hunting on a stream, or do I want to do like the Tera raids where they're a bit more exciting, they're much more frequent, and the audience can also join in too. So that's why I do the Chi-Yu with level 100 ghost type. Oh, 6-star code. Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu would not be in a Tera raid. That's not a Tera raid. I guess, is that a trade code? Because Chi-Yu being a legendary would not be in a Tera raid. Yeah, I'm going to assume that's not a Tera raid. But while we got a moment here, I'm going to... Oh, he only wants people that only have Chiyu. Oh, okay. But what's the Pokemon that's the 6-star? I think I actually, oh, that's right. I did check my 6-star. The 6-star raid I have, unfortunately, is a Kilowattrel, which isn't the greatest Pokemon. I mean, it's okay, but it's not like, oh, wow, I gotta have that. It's just like, eh. So that's why I'm kind of like, eh. I'm pretty sure my Corviknight can still give more, so... But I'm gonna check it anyway. I think the Great Tusk... Did I already check this one? I don't think I've maxed him out either. Okay, yeah, he's not maxed out yet. Okay. So we still need to work on Great Tusk. Let's see. Yeah, Iron Hands is definitely done. I'm pretty sure Corviknight can still give a little more. Yeah, he can still give more. Is there one that I haven't actually gotten his ribbon on? Yeah, I think all of these guys are pretty much fully EV trained. I think. I'm pretty sure this guy is. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he does have the ribbon, I just didn't put it on. Okay. Your 6-star is the Dragon Pelipper. Dragon. You know, that actually may not be that hard. Because you can take in, like, a water-ice type. And at least Pelipper's water moves won't really do anything to you. And then you can just start hitting it with ice type moves. Start hurting the dragon. So yeah, that actually wouldn't be so bad. I am going to fly all the way to the other side of the map real quick. And then I'm going to start looking for 5-stars again so we can do more of them. Yeah, there's my Kilowattrel right there. He's a psychic type too. Which I don't think would actually be that hard to polish off, but... As soon as I saw that it was a Kilowattrel, I was like, eh. If it were something like a Garchomp, I'd be like, oh, okay. Because 6-star Garchomp is actually pretty hard. If you like physical Pokemon cards. Yes! Thank you for the plug there, Hammer. I always forget to do that, because I get so engrossed in calciums. I get so engrossed in doing the game that I forget to push the Discord, and I forget to push the card store. 17 calciums. Okay, so if I pay less than 170,000 for these, then it's a deal. How the goofy bird is a dragon. Okay. So if it gets to like 160, I'll stop bidding. I've been hoping to see, and the reason I come back here over and over again is not necessarily like for stuff like this. I've been trying to get another lucky egg. Ugh, she's really pushing it high, huh? The calciums are useful, though. Okay, this is as high as I'll go. Yes, excellent. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I basically got these for a very slight discount, so save a little money. Alright, let's see what else they have out here. Fried fillets. Oh, and mussel feathers. These are useful. The fried fillets, I do not need any more of those. Just don't. I've got like 160 of those. Oh my gosh, I'm bidding against 2 children. I'm going to break their little hearts. Sorry, kids, I need these feathers. Okay, now these feathers are getting a little expensive. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, if it went any higher than this, I would have backed out. Hold on, hold on. Okay. So, let's take a look at our map again. Let's head north. We got a rock over here. Oh, we have one right over here by this flight point. Let me check what this metal is. And then from there, I already know what that fire is. It's a 4-star. And then from there, I'll go check the rock. Goofy host again. It's Goofy. Yeah, 4-star Vespa Queen. Actually, not a terrible Pokemon, but... Oh, they just got another muscle feather. You're finally not feeling sick? Good. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta, just sleep and just let your body do its thing. Because if it is a cold, there's really not much you can do about it except maybe take a little medication, help with the aches and pains, and just let your body fight it off. Yeah, 4-star Rotom. Let's go check out this ghost. Oh, look out. There are a ton of feathers around here. I missed a few. 5-star Steel Mabistiff. No, god dang it. Because Mabistiff, he's usually a dark, right? And he's steel, so I imagine you could probably take in a Charizard and probably deal with that pretty easy. Nicola, if you need help, just say, and I'll grab a Charizard. Check this. Yeah, 4-star Ghost. You slept the whole day? Yeah, that's pretty much all you can do, is just try to sleep. Because if you're up, you're going to feel miserable anyway, so might as well sleep. Wait, look out. I'm just doing race to the Herba Mysticas. I hardly even use my Herbas. I have them, but like I said, I don't make many sandwiches. Because I make sandwiches for my Pokemon, but I don't use the Herba Mysticas in the sandwiches that much. Because I've never really seen any benefit. At least for me. I'm sure other people have gotten amazing results, but I just don't. Oh, look at that, and I just found a 5-star King Gambit. I'll help you, though. Let me jump over to the portal real quick. And then after that, we can do this King Gambit. Okay, so T6, J, 0, 2, Gargantuan. Change this real quick. The Pokemon is also a boat. What? What's a boat? Hey, Poppy. We're about to do a Mastiff. Steel. Okay, I was about to say, I don't know if you want to bring Blissey. Blissey would not do too well against this guy. Because he does physical moves. Unfortunately, Blissey is only good for special defense. Do you think that it's okay if my local McDonald's knows me by name? And they know your order? It seems like you're visiting quite a bit. I've made like a real effort to try and lay off ordering out. I'm making myself go to the grocery stores instead. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, because I've found very quickly that if I just keep ordering food, I spend way too much money. Whereas if I go to the grocery store, I generally take much more time thinking about what it is that I'm buying. Whereas if I'm just like, oh my god, I want tacos. Going to end up spending like $10 on a few tacos, and there you go. Uh-oh, we're stuck. Whoever has Skeledirge, you need to heal yourself, man. What is up? Just doing some raids. Helping a few people get some better Pokemon. Like, pretty much all the Pokemon we've faced so far, I'm going to probably trade all of these. I just don't have any use for them. Like, I already have a max... I think I have a max level Mastiff. If he's not max level, then I've already got him trained, I think. And also to see if we can get some Mysticas for the heck of it. Instead of Mysticas, though, I probably wouldn't mind getting more stuff like PP Up or bottle caps. So that's another thing that I wouldn't mind getting from these. Coffee and bacon, egg, and cheese McGrill for breakfast. $4. That's not terrible. Hey, look at that bottle cap. Nice. So the mints are good too. Look at that. I got a couple of good mints. Naughty mint and brave mint. Muscle feathers. The Kelpsy berries, not great. Star pieces, or just one star piece. So that's actually not terrible. Bottle cap and some decent mints. Pretty good. It's cheaper for you to eat at McDonald's than go shopping. Wait, you just said it's actually cheaper for me to eat at McDonald's than go shopping. Oh, so you eat at McDonald's first and then you go to the grocery store? What? If you're not using herbas, can you trade Pokemon Holy Herb? Dude, I can still sell them. Yeah, you can still sell the herbas and get some good money for them. And then, I do use my money. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I will not be giving away any herbas. I have given away other stuff, though. Like, I gave away an ability patch to somebody a couple weeks ago. It doesn't work. Oh, you can't actually equip the Mysticas to the Pokemon? Well, I have a... Oops, come back. I have a 5-star King Gambit. If anybody wants to give that a try. We can probably... Since it's a normal, we can probably just throw Iron Hands at it. So if anybody wants to join in for this one, this is should be another easy match. Because I believe he's steel and dark, I think, right? He's still in dark normally, and then he's just normal. Ability patches. Not ability capsules, ability patches. The ability patches are actually a little harder to come by. And they work a little bit different. They help you get the hidden ability. I'm sure you know. And the ability patches are super expensive too. They're like 125,000 if you buy them. Yeah, the capsules aren't that hard to get though. All right, here we go. Oops, invite with link code. There we go. Breakfast is cheap with the McDonald's app. Yeah, after this, I definitely gotta go to the grocery store. Get a little food. I do still have some soup left, but I'm kind of in the mood for something with a little more substance. I know what an ability... Well, I have to ask, Nick. I have to, because sometimes we get newer players here. And they are not familiar with the differences. Yeah, the Iron Hands, I think, should probably carry us here. So anything else that you bring... I don't know if you would want to bring that Fluttermane. I'm guessing he's changing the Pokemon he's bringing. Yeah, he's bringing Iron Hands. $2 for the breakfast sandwich plus $1.19. Coffee plus taxes, $4. That's not bad. My whole breakfast is like 40 cents. That's it. My breakfast is like 40 cents. Well, with inflation, it may be like 42 cents now. I get somebody got the sunglasses. They're too cool for school. We're too cool for school. What do I eat? Food. Usually I just breathe for breakfast, that's about it. But that gets kind of expensive after a while. A slice of bread. I mean, you can eat bread for breakfast. I mean, a lot of people actually do. Like donuts. People eat donuts all the time. It's basically just fried bread. Are you serious? He already negated... Ugh, I hate this guy. And get some of my health back here. Oxygen is hard to come by these days. But yeah, you can actually just eat bread. I mean, because think of what a donut is. It's fried bread, usually with a little sugar on it. That's all. That's pretty much what a donut is. Like your basic glazed donut is fried bread with a sugar glaze. That's it. Careful there, Lay. Don't kill yourself. This is not in the bag yet. Yeah, because we could have 2 quick deaths here, and then we're in trouble. Okay, so he got some heal with the Drain Punch. Okay, that's good. And in fact, just to be certain that we don't screw this up, I'll go ahead and... oh, okay, his shield broke. I was going to say, I'll throw a heal, but it may not matter at this point now. Yeah, with the shield gone, we're all going to hit pretty hard now. I think we should be done. Yeah, that's it. I actually have a shiny King Gambit now. And I was disappointed because the shiny King Gambit has a blue uniform, but his mustache is still red, which seems kind of strange because I thought the whole idea of having the color of the mustache match the color of the uniform was like a thing, but it's not. So he still has the red mustache. It just looks weird because again he's got the blue uniform but he's got the red mustache. That's like Hey, look at that, a spicy. Very nice. Lots of candies, some more mussel feathers. Ugh, the Kelpsie berry. I hate Kelpsie berries so much. Such a waste. Even lumberries would have been better. Or, what's that other berry? It's like a red berry. Not a tomato berry, but another type of berry that I actually use fairly often. The mints are good. Naughty mint, brave mint. Not bad. Rice porridge and some cinnamon and some berries. Chopped apples, good for breakfast. Yeah, that's like it's like eating oatmeal. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, where were we? Let's see. Yeah, I almost never find Teras up here. They're very sparse. I usually find them like right around here. I don't ever find them in this little part of that. The part with the smiley face. Can you see it, guys? That's a face. So the eyes right here. This is your mouth, and that is kind of a weird nose with a mustache. It's a face. Let's see, what do we got up here? These are usually... Ooh, we got a rock. I'll go fly over here. Let's see what this rock has to offer. No, Halucha. Leave me alone, buddy. Oh, look at that. Let's see, what do we got here? So, it's a Pawmot 5-star rock. Let's see, he does electric moves. You know, we could probably Iron Hands this too, because it's a rock. And he's only a 5-star. Corn fritters? Basically deep fried corn. Dude, I live near Mexico. I've had everything. I did see somebody yesterday eating corn pizza. Yeah, actual pizza with corn on it. I also saw somebody eating pizza with shrimp on it. I saw that and I'm like, it's gonna be a no from me. Like the one with the corn, because they had like two pizzas. They had one with mushrooms, hamburger, and corn, which I'm like, that actually could be good. But then I saw another one where they had pineapple, which I'm actually fine with on pizza, and shrimp. And I was like, no, not the shrimp. I always think that if you get pineapple, you gotta get it with Canadian bacon or ham. You got to. Because when you match the saltiness of the ham with the sweetness of and bitterness of the pineapple, it goes really well if the red sauce is a little sweet and spicy. I think it's just fine there. Yeah, I would not do shrimp pizza is like, nah, it's a big no. Bacon's okay. I don't mind bacon. Yeah, I don't mind bacon too much. Shrimp tacos are good. I do not like shrimp tacos. I mean, I'm just not a huge fan of shrimp. So, yeah. I did eat shrimp when I was younger. I just don't like it anymore. But yeah, I don't eat... As far as, like, seafood, I'll eat fish. I'll eat, like, catfish. But I won't eat crab, and I won't eat shrimp. I won't eat squid either. I do not like squid. The consistency of squid just disgusts me. I'm sorry. How dare you? I mean, some fish is good. I've had, like I said, I've had fish. Fish is fine. Like I said, I just don't like shrimp. Basically, any crustacean, or if it has a shell on it, I just don't really like it. Oh my goodness, that hurt. Pomot's like, no, why you hurt me? Okay, I think we're good now. Just nobody dying, we're fine. Just keep poking it. Oh wow, everybody's paralyzed. Here, well, I've done my bit, so maybe I'll just throw a heal to unparalyze you all. Yeah, he just nullified my stat change, so squid is nasty. Yeah, octopus and squid I just do not like. Like, I know octopus and squid are big, like, over in Asia, but I will not eat it. Just no. And I have tried it. That's how I know I don't like it. You ever had somebody get after you because you say you don't like a certain food? Like, I don't like avocado. I just don't. I do not like it. And they're like, you haven't even tried it. And I'm like, you just assumed that I have never tried avocado. How else would I know that I don't like something if I've not tried it? They're all, oh. Yeah, I just don't like avocado. I'm sorry, I just don't. I've said that before, and people, like, freak out. They're like, oh, how can you not like avocado? I just don't like it. I don't. I'm sorry, man. I admit I can be pretty picky sometimes. Like, I'll eat the same stuff over and over again. Like, if you give me a dish just like meat and potatoes, I'll munch that. I'll just eat that like there's no tomorrow. Because I know what it tastes like, and I know it's good. Yeah, I'll eat meat and potatoes day and night. But other certain things, just not. In fact, there was something that my mom used to make when we didn't have, well, we were pretty poor growing up. Because it was just me, my two siblings, and my mom. Oh, look at that, a sweet herba mystica. Oh, that's beautiful. A hasty mint, two hasty mints, and a balm mushroom. Wow, that's a nice haul. But yeah, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And so my mom just did what she could to get food in our bellies. And so she would go and buy just like a pound of meat. And then she would get a can of corn. And she would drain the corn. She'd brown the meat up. She'd drain the corn, put the corn in it, and then salt and pepper, and that was it. That was dinner. And the weird thing is, it was great. It was delicious. I loved it. I loved eating it. In fact, as an adult, I have made that for myself sometimes. Again, it's the simplest of things. Little salt, little pepper, meat, corn. There you go. There's dinner. And if you want to, you can actually eat it with other stuff. But if you eat just that, it's perfectly fine. Isn't that part of Texas cuisine? I have no idea. You mean avocado? I have no clue. All right, we're gonna actually hold on. Would this be faster? Let me check this flyer out first. I guess you could say it's part of the cuisine, but I mean, avocado is part of just Mexican cuisine, period. So there you go. No shiny there. But I love Mexican food, but not all Mexican food. Some Mexican food I won't eat. Like pretty much anything with onions, and a lot of Mexican dishes have onions, but I will not eat them. I'm sorry, I just can't stand the taste of onions. The taste of onions and the consistency of onions I just do not like. Onions literally make me sick. Like, I've had people serve me food, and they're like, oh yeah, there's no onions or anything in it. But I'll taste it, and I can tell like if I get like a hamburger or something, I can tell that they had grilled onions on the same grill that they cooked that hamburger. I can tell. I can absolutely tell. And it's not. It just throws me off. It's not good. How's the Alamo? How's the Alamo taught down here? I don't know. Just part of our history, I guess. I mean, I remember learning about the Alamo as a kid, and we had to draw the Alamo, which was not difficult. But yeah, we just learned that the Alamo was a thing, and it was a battle, and we lost. But it was kind of like a heroic last stand. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really thought about the actual happenings at the Alamo in a long time. Yes, the Alamo with pickles. I'm not talking about the Alamo with pickles. Ah, God dang it. I tried to jump over it. Go away. Have you ever had an Alamo with pickles? Everybody's just like, what the hell is he talking about? Your Alamo with pickles. You always get extra pickles on your Alamo. I'm pretty sure there's a hamburger somewhere called the Alamo. Only 3 stars. Let's see, do we have anything else? Oh, we got a dark over here. Let's go check this out. The biggest staple, though, as far as Mexican cuisine and Tex-Mex, is going to be rice and beans. I mean, that's as basic as you can get. Of course, oh man, now I'm thinking about enchiladas. Oh my god, enchiladas are so good. 4 star. I know we had another one over here. What's on normal? Oh, a Glacian. Oh, who's this little guy? Oh, look at that. Yeah, he's just a regular old Reverum. But he'll give me a little extra LP here. And of course, LP stands for Little Pickles. Seriously, that's what the LP in this Pokemon game stands for. Little Pickles. But just be careful. Don't eat too many little pickles, because then you'll fart. I'm sorry. I'm going to use my sound effects. Or, like we were talking about earlier, we were talking about donuts. Sorry. I'll stop. They're like, cut it out, man. This is getting weird. Everybody watching's like, this is so weird. What is happening? I don't know, man. He's like farting and talking about jelly donuts. Jelly donuts don't make you fart, I don't think. I actually don't really like jelly donuts. Ugh, really? 4 star again? Yeah, because I found with jelly donuts, they tend to put way too much jelly in it. And with me, like if I ever have like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I don't want like a mountain of jelly on it. I want just enough. Just to get a little flavor in there. I don't have to have the like half the jar in it. It's nothing beats a jelly donut. Yeah, I actually don't like jelly donuts. The only donuts that I like with a filling would be like Boston cream pies. Boston cream pie are delicious. They're so good. In fact, they're so good I can't buy them anymore. And similar to a Boston cream pie is a Long John. You ever had a Long John? It's basically like a kind of a square pastry, and it's got chocolate on top of it, and then it's filled with like a banana or a cream filling. They're really good. They're very filling, though. They're like huge. Like the ones we have here in Texas, they're massive. Oh, come on, man. Where are all my 5 stars? Going halfway across the map here. I ain't finding anything. What we got? How about this ice? Now we'll go right here. Let's see what we can find. Admittedly, though, I am getting hungry. Maybe just do a couple more raids, then I'm going to go to the grocery store and get some food. Kind of wondering what I want to eat, though. Like, I don't mind cooking, I just don't, you know, trying to figure out what would be something good to eat. That doesn't take, like, a massive amount of effort to cook. Like, I don't even mind if it's just, like, something I stick in the oven. Wow. All 4 stars, man. What is happening? Check this bug. You want a donut now? You know what weird fast food item kind of intrigued me, but I never got to try it? That thing that they offered at KFC, it was called the Big Double. I think that's what it called. I think it was called the Big Double, I think. It was that weird sandwich where it didn't come with bread or anything. It was basically 2 big chicken patties, and between the 2 big chicken patties, which acted as buns, you got cheese and bacon. And that was it. That was the whole thing. Oh, God. Please give me a 5-star, man. What is happening here? Yeah, that thing intrigued me, but I never got a chance to try it, because apparently it was extraordinarily popular, but they discontinued it anyway. I think they probably discontinued it because it was probably expensive to make, I bet. Because you got 2 whole chicken breasts, and then you got the bacon, and then you got the cheese, and it was, like, insane. Yeah, I bet they weren't making money on that thing. They probably could have raised the price and kept it, but, you know. The whole part of the appeal was the fact that it was so cheap. Jeez, man, I am just not getting any 5 stars now. I think I've burned through all my 5 stars. It sounds amazing, but it also sounds like a heart attack. Like, I think what Popeyes did with their big giant chicken sandwich was the way to go about it. Because when that giant chicken sandwich first came out, it wasn't expensive. You could get one for like $4. But that thing was humongous, and so what they did is they put it at $4, got people hooked, and then jacked up the price to like $6. So now they make money on it. But people still love it. People still eat it. I'm going to check this rock. I have a feeling this rock is going to be the 5-star. Make a hammer burger. I'm not going to eat a hammer. Who would eat a hammer? Yeah, I'm this close to it, so I'm going to just check it. Hey, look at that. Oh, wow. 5-star Talonflame. So he's flying in fire, and he's a rock. Oh, fighting would not do well against him. Yeah, so Iron Hands is probably not the best choice here. Ground could probably work. Yeah, I'm gonna say a ground Pokemon would probably work best here. Yeah, because you don't want to take an Iron Hands in there. He's gonna eat it alive. Oh no, I'm yawning now. Let's see, what am I gonna bring? We're gonna bring good old Mudsdale. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Mudsdale. Could bring good old Mudsdale here. Make a poke burger. They have shops in Japan where you can order poke burgers. Like they have Pokemon themed restaurants, and they make bucks. Not only from tourists, but also from the locals. Apparently, the food's really good. A lot of it I found is Americanized food, though, like hamburgers and stuff, hot dogs. You know, ever since I mentioned that thing earlier, flying will do nurture to Iron Hands. Iron Hands is fighting, though. Yeah, and as fighting, they do not like flying. Yeah, fighting gets hit super effective by flying moves. They'll have Poke Trains in real life. Yeah, they really go crazy with the Pokemon stuff over in Japan, man. Like, I think it was Vaporeon is like the official mascot of like water preservation or something. I don't know. It's really strange. I can tell you right now, Labros, if you bring Blissey into this raid, you will get absolutely annihilated. He's fighting electric. That he is. But I still don't trust it because Talonflame likes to pump himself up. Either way, I'm still bringing my Ground Boy. My Mudsdale has always stood firm. No Gatey. He's just a good Pokemon. He doesn't do the best damage, but he almost never dies. I've never had him die before. I think the only negative about him is that I think it was this guy. I wasn't able to find a move that he could do to actually pump up his attack. Like he couldn't learn anything to pump up his attack. We were looking at bulk up, we were looking at work up, and he couldn't learn either of those. Oh, going with the... Ooh. Oh, I think, yeah, he can do Drain Punch too, can't he? The Azumarill? We're going with 3. I realized I've never seen a shiny in any of the Tera raids. I wonder if that's even a possibility. I'm sure somebody out there will say, yeah, I saw a shiny in a Tera raid. I mean the one that you can catch. Let's start with Earth Power. Oops. Yeah, Mudsdale won't take super effective against this guy. Flying or fire doesn't do any super effective against him. Because he's not grass. He is ground. He's all groundy. Ooh, wow, he already threw the shield up. Oh, no wonder he's almost dead. That was fast. We zoinked our stat changes. Ground does not take double damage if it's flying. The ground is better. Oh my god, die, dude. This guy does not want to die. He's like, I'm not dying. Yeah, ground doesn't like water, grass, and ice. How did he die that fast? I think Tyranitar farted. Yeah, I'm not terribly sure where you got that idea, but yeah, ground does not take super effective versus flying. I've actually got my little chart here. I always keep this little chart open whenever I'm playing, because I always forget, because some of this stuff is just like, ugh, it's too much to remember. Oh, another man, we're getting a lot of bottle caps today. Grappa berries, lots of candies. Fletchling feather, swift feather. More swift feathers. Not terrible. What did you do? Well, then why is flying immune to ground? Because you're not on the ground? Remember, I think you're overthinking this, Nick. Because again, as I'm saying here, I have my little chart here. Ground is weak to water, grass, and ice. Ground cannot hit flying. However, remember, I'm not choosing my Pokemon based on what its normal stuff is. Like, see, he's normally fire and flying, okay? I'm basing the choice of Pokemon on his Tera stat, or his Tera type. And in this case, it was, what was it, Rock? Yeah, it was Rock. And Rock does not like ground. So that's what I'm basing the decision on. Yeah. So it was, yeah, the Mudsdale was a fine choice. It wasn't the best choice, obviously, because somebody did a lot more damage, but that's what I'm saying. My Mudsdale is never the biggest hitter, but he never dies. But yeah, that's the thing there. When was GR? I don't know what that means. I have 5-star. Oh, that's right. Labro still has that one. I'll help you out, dude. Let's see. You say it's a 5-star ice. What type? What Pokemon is it, though? Yeah. What type of Pokemon is it? Is that 5-star? Gangster writing. Get real. Gang rappers. Thank you for the sub, Caden. Doodle-la-la. You hate how easy it is to accidentally press send. It happens. Lay, you didn't tell us what Pokemon it was, though. You just said it's a 5-star Ice Tera. That's all you said. I mean, I'll go look at it. Oh, oops, wrong button. You don't know the name in English? Well, I guess I'll have to go take a look. Well, if it's in German, I may know the German name. All right, what do we got here? BTL. D66. It's okay, speak it in England? What? Oh, Bronzong. Okay. Well, we actually did one of those earlier. Bronzong is metal, normally metal and psychic, I believe. Yeah, he was doing metal and psychic moves earlier. So if he's ice, could probably just do a Charizard. Yeah, I don't know if that's the absolute best choice, but yeah, Charizard would be fine. Could throw a Charizard in here. And if it's ice, psych. Oh, that's right. Iron Hands does not like those psychic attacks. Yeah, we'll just go Charizard. I'm not gonna take a chance with Iron Hands. Instead of English, it's England. I'm all ready to go. I do that all the time, Nick. I always, yeah, metal, steel. Yeah, I always do that. Like sometimes I'll call flying wind. I'll do that. I'll just mix them up. I think most people understand what I'm saying though. And the reason I do that sometimes is I play a handful of card games. I've played Yu-Gi-Oh, played Pokemon, played Magic the Gathering, and whereas a particular type is kind of the same thing when you really think about it, each game has a different name for it. And so I kind of cross-pollinate in that sense, if you know what I mean. So yeah, sometimes I'll call flying wind and, you know. Yeah. Or sometimes I'll call dark black, you know, because in Magic it's just black. Ground. Yes, I've done that too. Where I don't do it that much anymore, but I did for a little while called Ground Earth. Yes, Hammer Black is well, black is the land. Yeah. But the actual color is black. But swamp is black, yeah. However, even when I've played Magic, whenever I've used what is technically a swamp deck, we always call it black. We just call it by the colors. We've kind of like how a white deck, we've always called them white decks, even though they use plains, because plains is the actual land. Or if you use a blue deck, we just call them blue. We don't call them island decks. Ooh, wow. Okay, Bronzong didn't like that. Bronzong's like, ow. Calling fairy magic? I've not done that because between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, that's actually the same. So yeah, I've never mixed up the two. Same thing with Psychic. There's Psychic in Pokemon, there's Psychic in Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh wow, look at that. 2 ability capsules. Let's see, Resist Feather. Lots of, oh, Lax Mint, oh, the Impish Mint. That one's actually very handy. That wasn't bad. Quallop Berry. The 2 ability capsules isn't terrible. Pretty good. Trying to think of what other stuff I've gotten mixed up with Pokemon. Let me look at the types again. Normal, fire, water, grass, electric. Oh, electric. Sometimes I'll call it lightning. Yeah, I've just called it lightning sometimes. And I think the biggest reason I call it lightning sometimes is because within the descriptions of some Pokemon cards, the names of the attacks have maybe lightning or thunder in the name. You know, kind of like, you know, Pikachu uses like Thunderbolt and stuff like that. So I'll think lightning, thunder, you know, that sort of thing. Let me see. Fighting, ice, poison, ground, flying, psychic, bug. Bug is also in Yu-Gi-Oh! Rock. Rock is also in Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think I've ever called Ghost anything but Ghost. Yeah, certain ones I do it all the time with, like Steel and Metal. I always mix those two. Flying to a lesser extent, and the same Electric. I think I do it as much as I do with Steel. I'll just call it Lightning sometimes. No big deal. Like I said, most people understand what I'm trying to say. So, do Pokemon have spellcasters? Well, no, there is no spellcaster type, but I mean, there are that you could look at them and be like, well, maybe it is a spellcaster in a way, like maybe like a fairy, or like he was saying earlier, like fairy for Magic, or maybe psychic. I guess that could be considered a spell. But yeah, but there is no spellcaster type in fact, there is still technically a fairy type in the Pokemon card game, but they're no longer making cards to support it. They're not, just outright saying you can't play with the fairy cards anymore, but they're not, like I said, they're not producing fairy type cards anymore. Any card that would have been a fairy before, I believe they're generally changing them over to like psychic or dark. Same thing with the energies. They don't make fairy energies anymore. You can still get them like in the old packs, like the older Sword and Shield packs and in the Sun and Moon packs. You can still get the fairy energies, but like in all the newer stuff, there are no fairy energies. What's this? Big old mushroom. Yeah, 4-star. Going through my old MTG binder and found a card I should probably burn. What is it? You gotta tell us now, man. You can't just say that and then not tell us. Now I want to know. What's Fairy type 2 OP? I don't think it was it. It was that Fairy was added later on. Fairy was not one of the originals. And they chose Fairy simply because it wasn't one of the originals, and two, it had only been added for a certain amount of time, so there weren't a ton of Fairy cards, so it wouldn't really affect too many deck types and stuff like that. So that's why they got rid of it, and they just wanted to kind of streamline the game a little bit. They probably thought it was getting a little too fat, a little too bulky. I mean, obviously, Fairy type is still in the video games, but as far as Pokemon cards from here going forward, they will no longer make Fairy type cards. Invoke Prejudice. I know people have certain ideas about that card, but I can tell you right now, if you try to... Oh, wait. I was going to say, if you try to sell that on eBay, at first I was thinking somebody will pay you a ton of money for it, but eBay might take it down. I know they won't let you sell it on TCG Player. They've completely removed that card from the set. You can't even post it. eBay, I don't know, but they might remove it. So yeah, I don't know how that would work. Because I can tell you, I mean, even though the biggest reason why those cards are so expensive now is because they are hard to get. Because one, there's really not too many outlets where you can sell them online, because they've all banned it. Just save it. I mean, the card in and of itself is not evil, I don't think, but I can still see how somebody would look at that and think, oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, look at this guy. Anybody need a Mudsdale? And he's electric. Oh, that's hilarious. So he does ground and rock moves. He can do metal too. But he does ground and rock mostly, and he's electric. So, Mudsdale versus Mudsdale? I kind of want to do it. I wouldn't mind getting into the Mudsdale. I really wouldn't. I'm going Mudsdale versus Mudsdale. Oh, this is funny. Alright, if anybody actually needs my good old trusty Mudsdale... No! Try it again here. Alright, let's do this one more time. Found another one. Oh yeah, Jihad, they don't produce that one anymore. Again, the card in and of itself, there's nothing really wrong with it. But just because people have changed their idea of what that word means, not necessarily what it means, but what it implies, that's why people are not comfortable with that card anymore. There are a handful of cards that they just banned. They said, we're never going to reproduce these. Oh, what was that other one? There was another one. It wasn't Wrath of God, but it was similar to it. Oh, man. There's like a whole list. Yeah, there's like a whole list of cards that they banned. And some of them were banned not even because of the card itself. Like what they may do is the artwork that it originally came with, they won't reuse the artwork. For either because the artwork was too racy, or it is now considered too racy, or the artist who originally created that artwork has done or said some things that Wizards just doesn't agree with. Like there is, oh, what's her name? I forget her name. But there's this one woman who, she's a very talented artist, and she has actually a whole bunch of Magic cards that she's done. A lot of it is older stuff. But she's excellent. She's very, very good in that sense. But apparently she was sort of like a Nazi sympathizer or something. I don't know. It was just some weird stuff. And yeah, after she publicly came out and said some stuff to that effect, they were just like, okay, yeah, we're not going to use your artwork anymore. Oh, I think her name was Therese Nilsson. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure if that's her name, but I think it's very close to that, like Therese Nilsson or something like that. Yeah, they basically just cut ties with her. They're not going to use any of her artwork. Like all the artwork, the cards themselves can be reprinted, but they will just use different artwork. Like the name and the text and everything will be the same, but the art will be different. I booked my ticket to Texas first class. First class? Kuga, you got to hit ready, man. We're waiting on you, dude. Come on, hit ready. There you go. I guess if you are going to be on a flight that long, yeah, you probably want to try and do first class if you can. I can't imagine being in coach for 12 hours. Austin Executive Airport. So you're flying into Austin? I thought you said you were going to Houston. There are direct flights. Well, maybe not. I was going to say, I think there are direct flights from England into Houston. Houston's a hub. So, yeah. It's kind of weird that you're going into Austin. I mean, it's fine. It just seems kind of strange to me. Oh, so you're going to be traveling through Texas a bit. Oh, that's cool. Austin is a very nice place. It really is. It's just expensive. Yeah, it's a nice place to visit, but don't live there. Man, I'm getting lit up here. I may actually have to burn on Iron Defense. I'm getting lit up a little. Visit Steve Austin. Steve Austin lives in Victoria. Victoria, Texas is actually not far from me at all. I could get to Victoria in like 90 minutes. I may have to burn a heal here because I'm getting a little low. Man, his stamina. I did not think about what his ability would be. That ability hurts. Are there any ground moves that are not physical? Oh, Tyranitar's dead. Yeah, this is... Whoa, this guy's actually a bit harder than we thought he was going to be, huh? Because every time we hit him, his defense goes up. His defense is probably maxed at this point. Earth power? Oh, and I'm using Earthquake, aren't I? Yeah, I'm not using Earth power. I think my Mudsdale knows Earth power, but I stopped using it because his special attack is not that high. So now I just use Bulldoze and Earthquake. Okay, that actually hit him pretty hard. That's not bad. Oh, look at that! He did not like that. But again, my Mudsdale's hanging in. He's hanging in there. Oh, he showed us his butt. He's like, look at my butt. Do you have the card Crusade? I do not have Crusade. Yes, that's another banned card, isn't it? I remember that one being banned. Yeah, I actually looked. I don't have any of the banned cards. Any of the cards that got banned, like hardcore banned. I'm not just meaning like in a particular format. I mean just like flat out banned. I didn't have any of them. Because a lot of them were like, they came out like just before. Oh, God. A critical hit? Are you serious? No! No! How could you die, little guy? Oh my God! No! Oh my God, he got critted and died. Wow, that was so close. Oh my God. Yeah, he's got stamina, so I'm actually going to pick up this Mudsdale too, because my Mudsdale has own tempo. Stamina's pretty awesome, though. Wow. I told you my friends I was thinking about meeting them in Austin, and we are staying in a hotel for a week, then we're going to Houston for the rest of the NASA thing. People all gone around. Ah, okay. Yeah, Austin's really nice. There's a lot of stuff to do in Austin. All sorts of stuff. I'm pretty sure they'll try and drag you down to 6th Street. Let's see. A PP up. 3 star pieces. A Lonely Mint. Not that much candy, but lots of star pieces. Man, that fight was a lot closer than I was comfortable with. Oh my God. You found that on eBay for 17? Oh, wow. Well, there you go. I mean, if you really want it. Oh, man. I really need to go to the store. I've already been streaming 3.5 hours, and today was supposed to be like a short stream. If you guys want to help out Lay Brothers, I'll go ahead and keep here just so he can share the code. But then I'm going to end my stream because I really need to go to the grocery store. But it was fun still. And again, for those of you who have not been here with the stream, I usually don't stream on Mondays. I'm doing it just because it's a holiday here in the States. I usually stream every Saturday mornings, usually about between 9 and 10. And then the streams run usually at least 5 hours. So, yeah, in fact, the last stream I did was over 7 hours. So that one was really long. So yeah, every Saturday mornings, between 9 and 10 p.m. Central Time is usually when I start streaming. And we do pretty much this. Not only that, but we also help complete Pokedexes and stuff like that. We'll trade exclusives. Like I have Violet. So if you needed Violet exclusives, I could trade those to you, etc., etc. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do. If you want, we do have a Discord where there's a handful of people who usually attend these streams. I'll share the Discord with you all right now. There is the Discord link. And then, as mentioned earlier, if you actually like physical cards, like for trading card games, there we go. We got cards too. So yeah, but over on Discord, I'm usually on Discord every day. So if y'all ever have questions or anything like that, y'all can always just ask me on Discord if you don't see me here doing streams or something. But thanks for hanging out, guys. It was fun. I guess I will see you all on Saturday. Just do keep an eye out for the videos that I'm going to post this week, because I will be posting more shorts. But until then, be nice to each other. And here's a Kana remix.